99-cent rental.
This is 99 Cent Rental. I'm your host, Brian White, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Dave. Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Hello there. I am doing pretty well. I just heard from you who's not doing pretty well, and that is Phil Noble from Fangoria Magazine. Hey, what the fuck, man?
I love that. I love that he presents himself as the rational position, and everybody else is being unreasonable.
For the kids at home, would you explain what's going on with Mr. Noble?
Phil loves him some Blue Sky, fuck it. I'm just going to bring it up and read it.
Nice.
He posted the following: people getting rabid over movies and filmmakers failing their purity tests. And I don't know, man. It's movies, not global politics. If Eric Trump decided he wanted to direct action movies, I bet I would watch that shit religiously. Movie stars are knuckleheads, studios are evil, find your heroes elsewhere. And then he replies to himself, a grown adult human read the above and called it playing devil's advocate for Eric Trump, and I must once again ask the question, and he quote tweets himself, or, skeets or whatever the fuck they call him over there. Question for mental health professionals and not astrologers, why is everybody being fucking insane right now?
Hey, Phil, did you just get here? Did you just come in, buddy?
It's,
I find it kind of fascinating that we are in 2025 and someone is actually saying, hey, why do our movies have to be so political?
It does seem like that's what he's saying, right? And I would assume that the first post that I read was probably a sort of a reaction to like a Phil Noble hot take. From earlier that I did not see and I lacked the context of. And this is him getting mad at haters.
Okay, well, I hope so, because just in case anyone is confused and hasn't caught up yet, literally everything we ever do is political. So let's just get past that now.
Yeah.
I thought we all understood that.
What the fuck is he doing?
Just, I don't know, drumming up business, I guess.
I guess.
Anti-business. I don't know.
There's no such thing as bad press.
Maybe he's starting a podcast.
Does Fangoria have podcasts?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I guess I won't pitch them. Anyway, it's hard to explain to someone who's never had the experience what a trip to the video store was like back in the day. The shelves were choked with absolutely bizarre crap made on tiny budgets, completely divorced from any recognizable reality. Holy shit, like tonight's movie.
Yeah.
It was the best. We intend to talk about every one of them. Just before we get into it, here's a little housekeeping. If you want to keep up with us between episodes, you can also find us on Instagram at Bring Me the X Pod. Dave's over there at That Werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a follow. You keep up with things. You get the memes. Dave posts a lot of art.
I do. A lot of art, a lot of gay stuff. Not like like that kind of gay stuff, but like gay stuff.
Yeah, I post a lot of cut ups of Donald Trump implying that he sucked Bill Clinton's dick.
It's also gay stuff, I guess.
Yep. And if you don't know, we have another show called Bring Me the Axe. Of course you do. Our latest episode covering the Dark Shadows feature fiasco, House of Dark Shadows, is out now. And we'll be back next week with a look at Mortuary. That one's sure to be interesting.
Mm.
Yep. You can also contact us directly at 99centrentalpod@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or suggestions. Do let us know if there's a cheesy movie that you love, would like to hear us give it the business. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you can look us up over there, patreon.com/bringmetheXpod. There's a couple of tiers you can join there. Subscribers at the $5 a month tier can look forward to our bi-weekly X-Files rewatch pod. Do you think I'm spooky? Latest episode. Latest episode's a fucking good one.
Yeah, one for the ages.
Dwayne Barry?
You calling Dwayne Barry a liar?
It's Steve Railsback, so sweaty. Also, I believe today is Steve Railsback's birthday.
Yeah, happy Steve Railsback Day.
Yeah. Yep. To all who celebrate.
To all who celebrate Steve Railsback.
Our monthly Bring Me the Axe Millennium Edition is also a thing you can look forward to. A bonus episode, which we explore a modern horror movie. Our latest episode is look at the Orphanage.
Mm.
Fucking bummer of a movie, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one, though. But that ending.
I think the ending is fantastic.
I think the ending is fantastic,
they
too.
Really pulled the rug out from under you.
Makes me feel real bad.
Yep.
All Patreon subscribers, even the free tier, get access to our Discord server. Paying members get access to additional channels, voice and video chat, and the watch parties option, which we're gonna get back on track soon. As soon as my schedule kind of chills out a little bit.
Oh yeah, you're a thespian now.
Yep. Once again, that's patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. And lastly, if you like what you hear, you can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on YouTube. Search us by name and subscribe if you prefer to consume your podcast that way. And you'd be doing us a favor by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. So, hey, tis the season. Give us a little gift.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Spare us a couple minutes of your time.
Yeah, and if you don't know what to write, it's stew season. So give me your best stew recipe.
We did get some stew recipes last year.
Nice. Well, I do like stew.
Yep, I love a stew. I had a hearty beef stew the other night.
I made one just last night.
Fucking A. Mm-hmm. See? Yeah. And if you listen on YouTube, do us a favor. Give the episode a like and leave a comment. We do love hearing from you guys. Just want to get all that out of the way right at the top of the show because, hey, Dave.
Yes.
This dude looks familiar.
Oh, you mean our guest?
Our guest.
We do have a guest. He is an artist and a podcaster. He is the co-host of That Spooky, and he's from here on out going to be our resident Dungeons and Dragons expert. It is Tyler Hyde.
That's a lot to live up to, considering I've never done a full campaign.
Well, you're like the Marco Rubio of this show now. You just have all the jobs, but you're not actually like Marco Rubio. Right after it came out of my mouth, I was like, oh, yikes.
I don't know if that's a compliment or an offense.
It's not. It's not.
You're gonna have to fucking roll a d20, your save versus cringe.
Yeah.
No, you are fortunate to not be American and thus do not know who he is.
I've heard the name. I've heard the name, but that's about it.
It's America. He's a politician, and we just can't help but get a little on you. So it's like even people out of America know who some of our people are.
Yes. Oh yes. They infiltrate all airwaves.
Yuck.
Yep. Oh,
but thank you for having me back. I'm excited to talk about this thing that dares to call itself a movie.
Oh, that's so good.
The balls on this movie, and I put that in quotes.
Yeah, it's basically those truck balls of them, those balls sacks that people put on trucks. Yeah. That is what this movie is.
In as much as it has no self-awareness ever.
The thing about this movie that I could not help, and I think I might even have a note in the course of the plot, that this movie does seem to be aware that all of these characters are under tremendous pressure from their parents to live up to these sort of expectations, and then it still lays it at the feet of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the fall guy. It's the fall guy.
Oh man, it is great because I get to nerd out a little bit because you and me, we got this in common. Dave, not so much, but
no, I don't do it.
I've got my Dungeon Master's Guide.
Oh hell yeah.
Handy. I've got my copy of Appendix N handy just in case we won't be needing them. We won't be needing those, but I have them on hand.
Just for the spirit.
Yeah,
but
you're
ready. Yeah.
Just fucking Christ. What a fucking fiasco this movie is. So
really.
Yeah. Before we get too far afield, let's give it to him. Let's just fucking give him the trailer. Here's what we're dealing with.
Tom Hanks and his friends get caught up in a deadly game of fantasy.
I am the maze controller.
Until they take it too far.
I propose we play mazes and monsters in a real setting. It won't be a fantasy.
Too bad for one of them, because now there's no turning back.
This is only a game.
I know I killed somebody.
Mazes and monsters.
Too bad one of them's mentally ill.
Rona Jaffe's Mazes and Monsters.
Wow.
Yeah, because, Rona Jaffe just has so much cachet.
She was the either the producer or like the executive producer, and that was her big fucking thing, was like, I'm going to shoehorn my name into the title. They will respect me, because she never got any respect, nor did she deserve any.
Well, no, because also, but I think, actually, Patricia Pulling came along a little bit later and sort of hogged the anti-D&D spotlight. And we'll talk about Pat Pulling a little bit, but yeah, Rona Jaffe's name is not like, you don't really You don't really. I didn't fucking know I didn't know who she was. Yeah.
She's a very bitter lady, was. She is dead now, but she was, at the time this came out, she was very bitter. She didn't think that, because she had a book that came out, I think a couple years earlier. It was like, I can't even remember what it was called, but it was like kind of like a Sex in the City romance.
Oh, right. Everything that I wrote when I was looking her up, because you got back to me and you're like, she's an interesting person, and all I could find was just like little snippets and shit like that, and every like I couldn't really find any deep info. And the one thing that kept coming up was, boy, she really was like a real life Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah, so that was a lot of that for the book. I wish
she
I
wrote for Cosmo.
Yeah, so she is the whole Sex in the City thing. I can't remember the Camille something or other who wrote all of that. She based some of that on Rona Jaffe's writing, but Rona Jaffe wrote a book, and she worked for a publisher at the time, and the book was kind of successful, but there was like rumors that she didn't write it herself, that like editors at the publishing company she wrote for also wrote parts of it or wrote big chunks of it, and it got made into a movie, and everyone was like, this movie sucks, ladies are dumb, why'd you make this stupid cheesy romance movie? So she felt very slighted. So she comes back with this, I'm going to go ahead and just call this straight up exploitation of the worst caliber.
Unbelievable opportunism. You know, she existed at a crossroads of a real moral panic. And boy, this show loves a moral panic, don't we, folks?
I do. I do, specifically.
I think we're living in one right now.
Oh my God, it's just one after a fucking another. Tyler, what is your relationship to Dungeons and Dragons?
Minimal, I will say. In my teenage years, I have a very, very vivid memory though of going into a bookstore and finding a copy of Dungeons and Dragons on the shelf. It was Cole's bookstore. It used to be like a chain in Canada. I don't even think it is anymore. But I found it, and it had everything you needed, like all the character sheets, everything to get you started in your first campaign. And I went to my mom to be like, I really want this. And I was adamant. I was one of those kids, like, if I wanted something, I was going to be just a pest about it.
Yeah.
And I remember a lot of hesitation from my mother. And she's not this kind of person who would be like, no. Like, she's very level-headed. Like, she allowed me to watch horror films at a very young age because I wanted to, and had conversations with me about it, being like, the difference between something that is made, for entertainment that isn't necessarily real. Like, had a lot of conversations about my consuming material that I really shouldn't have been consuming. But Dungeons and Dragons, that was the first time I ever saw my mother sweat, and I had no idea why. Because
and this was the 90s, right?
What was that?
Was this the 90s?
This would have been like the 2000s, like 2004 or something.
Okay, so
something
we're well
like
past the satanic panic.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, she would have been, growing up in it. And I think that was a reflection of this. But I ended up getting it. And then I was so excited. And I was creating characters. And you know what? I never found anybody to play with me.
Oh, my God. My man, let me tell you my story. Because it bears some parallels, except that my mom was that kind of lady who was 100% on board with the panic. And
Satan was lurking everywhere.
This was right in the middle of all of that too. So I can't remember how I became like first aware of it, but it was the sort of thing that like as soon as I saw it, I was like, that looks exactly like the sort of thing that I would love. And we were, it was in the 80s, and we were at my grandmother's, and she had like stopped giving me presents and started giving me money to sort of like buy my own presents with, which I really appreciated. And so like we went to a KB toy store when those were still a thing. And in the back, and they had their little aisle where all the board games were. And in the very, very, very back of it was a small pile of like boxed role-playing games, all the sort of TSR stuff. So like Gamma World and Star Frontiers and Dungeons and Dragons, the red box, the blue box, the black box. And I was like, I saw that and I was like, I am buying this. And my mom went, absolutely not.
Okay. Yeah.
She was like, you will become obsessed. You will
die.
This will consume you. And my breath caught in my throat. I was like, what? It's a fucking game.
But all that does, right, It was probably just
How
made you want to
exciting.
play it more.
Oh,
That
you have
sounds
no
like the
idea.
best game
You
ever.
have no idea because also the cartoon was on TV at the time. But the very next year, the very next Christmas, we went to my grandmother's house and she did not give me money. There was a little box wrapped and I unwrapped it and it was the fucking red box of Dungeons and Dragons. And I opened this in front of my mom and it was like I opened a rifle in front of her.
Nice.
Oh my God.
And you know
Grandma's
Grandma
a
did that
real
just to
one.
fuck with her.
And so, she must have, because this is a real random thing. Like I can't imagine that she called up and was like, "What would Brian want?" And mom would go, "Oh, Dungeons and Dragons." No fucking way. She must have remembered the whole to do from the previous year. What a fucking power move! And then
hilarious.
And I got so into it, and it was like it had the two books. It had the little thin player's handbook, and it had a little Dungeon Master's guide. It came with some plastic dice and like character sheets, and the same exact thing happened. I mean, I was so fucking excited, and I took it home and I showed it to my friends, and they were like, "What the fuck, dude?" And I decided that I wanted friends more than I wanted Dungeons and Dragons.
Damn.
And so
Right.
it sat in my closet for forever. And it was years and years before I actually like sat down to play it. I was probably 18 when the first time I actually played it, and I discovered I don't really like Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh no.
No,
All
I
that
actually,
time.
I know so much build up, so much anticipation, and then I played it, and I was like, this
Yeah.
kind of sucks, actually.
Yeah. You're like, why
But
am
I
I
do-
not being possessed? Why am I not like, why? Why do I feel just like normal?
This is, it's like I am not.
Where are the demons?
Right, I was told there would be Satan.
Yeah.
No, but I do enjoy role playing games tremendously, just not that one.
Yeah. That's fair.
know?
And I mean, role playing has come so far, right?
It is.
Like,
Oh, Jesus
Skyrim
Christ.
or nothing these days.
Now you're talking my language.
Yeah, and the sort of the property that it is turned into, like it very, like in the 90s, like that company kind of TSR kind of collapsed, and that was when Wizards of the Coast bought it, and then Hasbro got them and sort of turned it into this fucking empire that it is now.
Yeah.
And
It's huge now.
It's fucking crazy. We took my son to this thing in Boston that was like a live game called the 20-sided tavern. It was nuts. I was like,
That's cool.
I was like, the fact that this went from being this like socially taboo thing, like even in its day, if you took the sort of satanic panic angle out of it, still the people who played Dungeons and Dragons were fucking nerds.
Yeah, well, people will recall when we did was it a heavy metal movie, the Ozzy Osbourne one?
Oh, Trick or Treat.
Yeah, Trick or Treat. We did that. I think we talked quite a lot about growing up at that time and how horror movies really weren't cool and how you were kind of a loser if you listened to like heavy metal and watched horror movies. And this game, and I mean, this pretty much was role playing for all intents and purposes for a very long time. This is they're all sort of a piece, they are the part of the whole. This is another thing that made you kind of a giant dork.
Yeah. And like nowadays, like, I mean, it's just, culture has changed so fucking much. And like, nowadays, like I play in like a weekly Star Wars group, and I have a fucking great time playing that one. But like in the past,
Warhammer is huge.
Warhammer is fucking crazy. And that is the most grognard, deep cut shit.
Yeah.
It's also stupid expensive to play, but
Yeah.
but like
It's just, the whole tide has changed on this. I feel like now parents would love it if their kids were playing Dungeons and Dragons. It's like, my kid's not on the internet, my kid's not using their phone, they're hanging out with their friends and they're using their imagination. Like, fucking A.
Yeah, they're not
the child
vaping
lottery.
and dating 35-year-olds.
yeah, the culture shift is wild, and like attitudes towards role playing have changed tremendously. Like, and I've had this sort of like firsthand experience with like sort of gaming and that sort of playfulness is a sort of therapeutic tool as well. Like, there's all sorts of like you can use it to sort of explore all kinds of personal shit that you might not otherwise have an opportunity to kind of work out.
I do have to
Absolutely.
say, maybe it's not as acceptable everywhere because, Tyler, did your deep dive on that spooky into Dungeons and Dragons, did that not get you kicked off of YouTube and demonetized?
Actually, okay. it got us banned on, not banned, but we basically went into Instagram jail. Okay? So we posted about it, and like in the conversation leading up to Dungeons and Dragons and the Satanic Panic, I talked a little bit about, you know, Anton LaVey, the Church of Satan, or the Church of Satan, or is it the Satanic?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, Church of Satan.
He's the Church of Satan.
The Satanic Temple does not like it when you get them confused.
No.
I will say that. We learned that lesson early on in the podcast. They will come for you. But yeah, we talked about Anton LaVey. Then in the 1970s, the rise of like serial killers, just the serial killer pandemic, basically, that was happening. And so all of that was a part of this grander conversation about the Dungeons and Dragons panic. And so when we posted a supplementary post just to kind of complement the episode with, you know, pictures and things related to the things we were talking about, we included photos of some of the serial killers that were mentioned. And we've been doing a podcast talking about true crime for a long time, and we've never had issues like this. But the next day or the day after, the post got removed for promoting dangerous organizations, right?
Yeah.
So we thought, okay, maybe it was the fact that there were serial killers posted in this post, you know? Fair enough. Okay, whatever. We tried to dispute it. They stood by it, and we were like banned from doing certain things on Instagram for a while.
I found this mysterious as hell because this has happened to you guys a couple of times.
Yeah, because then about a month or two later, I talked about another topic that also featured lots of serial killers. That post, we put it up. This was kind of like the tester. We put that up, that got taken down as well. So then we're like, okay, this is why this post is not, like, this is what happened with the other post. It's the pictures of the serial killers. But then we disputed this one. It got restored. But the Dungeons and Dragons one, never restored.
That's wild. That is
Satan.
so fucking strange.
It's bizarre.
You are one of like 9 million accounts talking about true crime shit.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then it's just like, okay, we thought it was the serial killers, but no, it must be the Dungeons and Dragons. And I don't know, maybe the dangerous organization they were accusing of us promoting was bad, bothered about Dungeons and Dragons. But I don't think so. But there is like this moral panic that's bubbling under the surface, because here in Toronto, the village, the street shuts down for Halloween, and everybody goes out in their costumes, and it's like a big party. This year there were people standing on the corner preaching. I've never seen that.
I knew I should have gone.
Yeah. I've never seen that before in all the times I've gone down there for Halloween. But this year, and then I'm seeing things that people were actually not celebrating Halloween this year because it was dangerous. It was promoting like satanic shit.
It's your proximity to the United States. I'm so fucking sorry.
Right? Yeah. But it's just, it's like there's something happening. I don't know. I'm just feeling it. Like people are afraid of Satan again.
Yes.
Bananas.
Yeah, like they are desperate. They're desperate. It's like the QAnon thing just ran out of gas, but there's like enough people left at the party and still buzzing from that bad cocaine high that they're all just like, oh, we got to find something. We got to grab onto something to sort of bring the buzz back.
Nice. Yeah. I love that QAnon. That's just passé. That's too crazy. But Satan's cool.
Yeah.
Satan's still totally reasonable.
You know, Satan's the eternal villain, man. You can tack him onto any old thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So yeah, I don't know. So maybe Dungeons and Dragons will have another peak in panic. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. So let's talk about the movie a little bit, shall we?
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
So the year was 1982.
Heard of it.
Year of our Lord. So here were some other made-for-TV movies released in 1982. A House Divided. Denmark Vesey's Rebellion.
What?
That's exactly. I have no idea what this is. I just love the title. Here's another one. Rascals and Robbers. The Secret Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, that sounds bad.
How's this one for you? The Wild Women of Chastity Gulch.
That sounds great.
Oh, no.
Yep. And then Charles and Diana, A Royal Love Story.
I wonder how that one's going to end.
Which was one of 3 TV movies about Charles and Di that year.
I have high hopes for them as a couple. I think those kids are going somewhere.
Yeah. Did they get like married or divorced in that year? When did the divorce happen?
It must have been right around there, like 1980 or 81 or something.
No, they
like
got
that.
married in like 85, didn't they?
Oh, so they were courting in 1982. It was the will they, won't they.
Why did everybody give a shit about them?
I don't know. There's so many Americans who are like really into the royals. They were married in 1981.
Okay, so like she seemed like a real kind of like a cool lady. He seems like a sack of shit.
Oh, absolutely, because she wasn't a royal. She was a fucking commoner, and he was the product of several hundred years of incest.
Yeah, you hear that, everybody? Marry a commoner.
There you go. And lastly, I was a mail order bride.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Made for
What a
TV movies.
year.
Maybe I can sort of see your fascination with TV movies.
Thank you.
Because they have the wildest titles.
They do, and they, I'm going to say 6.5 times out of 10, they really deliver.
That's fucking outstanding. Oh, our cast and crew. We have a director named Stephen Hilliard Stern. Guy who started out in the 1960s writing ad copy for TV ads. He moved into directing, and the bulk of his work is in made-for-TV movies.
Yeah, The Ghost of Flight 401. Pretty good one.
Yeah, he worked on movies with titles like a Troy McClure movie, like The Ghost of Flight 401, Escape from Bogan County, and Still the Beaver, a 1983 made-for-TV movie that was a backdoor pilot for a reboot of Leave It to Beaver in the 80s.
He also made one called I Wonder Who's Killing Her Now. Which implies that someone was killing her before. Someone different.
They came to burgle Carnegie Hall. Yep. He also did some features, including the Disney movie that presciently cast Bill Cosby as the devil in The Devil and Max Devil, in a movie that I don't think you can even watch on Disney Plus these days.
Yeah, that's from their weird era.
Yeah, and he also directed the utterly insane vigilante revenge movie Rolling Vengeance, in which a dude avenges his father's murder and the rape of his girlfriend with a monster truck that has a huge phallic drill on the front.
It is fucking wild.
It is a crazy, crazy movie that is also fucking awesome.
It's post this movie?
I think that was after this.
Yeah, that's going to be like 86.
I think it was 86 or 87. But man, yeah, that Rolling Vengeance, you guys, just the poster is fantastic.
It is. It looks like what he's driving is like a, what is that, a combine? Is that what that thing's called?
Yeah, like a harvester.
Yeah.
Yep. So our cast includes Tom Hanks, a dude who is entirely too classy for this podcast and allegedly one of the nicest guys in Hollywood.
A young up-and-comer.
He's a 2-time Academy Award winner for Philadelphia and Forrest Gump, which is one of the most iconic movies of the 90s, which I don't particularly care for.
Which one?
Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Not a fan.
No. No.
What is it about these chocolates?
No. Is that Robert Zemeckis?
I think so.
Zemeckis, you can do better. You have done better, and you will again.
I don't know. People are so into that. Like, remember when we were at Universal Studios and we walked by the bubblegum shrimp place, and I was like, "That's still a fucking thing."
I do remember that we were at Universal. We weren't really at Universal Studios.
You were just too disappointed to notice.
I was seething with disappointment.
Why?
It's a long story.
Okay.
We went for a what was supposed to be an art show that was not an art show.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I was very, very, because we went, it was like a kind of a haul to get out there. And when we got there, I was just like, well, what the fuck is this?
It was like a store full of like movie memorabilia, but they're all like knockoffs, but everything has like a signature of a celebrity on it. So it all costs like $1,500.
Oh yeah.
And there was supposed to be like a Universal Monsters like art exhibit and like sale of that stuff, and none of the shit was there. It was just a fucking store.
Oh, that fucking sucks. You could have stayed home and buy it on the internet.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, but
fortunately, I did just that.
And we took an expensive fucking Uber ride over the hill to fucking up toward Burbank. Yeah, it was a whole thing. Anyway, he also won Golden Globes for the same roles, plus Big and Castaway. He hosted Saturday Night Live 10 times, fourth most frequent host. And this is his third role following the 1980 slasher movie He Knows You're Alone and the sitcom Bosom Buddies.
I don't know if He Knows You're Alone is really a slasher.
It's
I believe
I
that's
guess.
the one
I
that
guess
Randy Quaid is who's the right Quaid? The other Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid. He's like a rapist.
Okay.
He's a rapey boyfriend. It's not very good. But he's also, if you remember at this time, he's Uncle Ned on Family Ties,
that's
who has a
right.
drinking problem.
Yeah, he drinks extract, cherry extract, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And he gave us Splash, The Burbs, and David S. Pumpkins. And if you're an extremely online Republican freak, the man with one red shoe means that he was also drinking the blood of children for adrenochrome.
Obviously.
The second of maybe more QAnon references on this episode.
Hey, stay tuned.
We also got Chris Makepeace and a whole bunch of funny hats.
Oh,
Yo,
God.
the hats.
The hats, I was not expecting this. Like every time he shows up with a new hat, I was like, what are you doing? Did you bring these with you?
The tone of this movie is so off the wall all the
It's-
time that
holy
it doesn't
shit.
surprise me that he shows up and he's like, hey guys, this is going to be my character. He
Yeah.
always wears funny hats. Waka waka.
It's like in Rock and Roll High
no.
School when they just told PJ Souls to dress herself, and then we
Yes.
then we got all that.
Yeah.
And then
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
the-
Go get your own wardrobe. Okay,
that's the movie where everyone
get
showed up
hats.
expecting the Bee Gees and got the Ramones instead.
Yep. He was last seen on this podcast way back in 2023 in our first Pride series when we covered the Grace Jones vampire movie Vamp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You saw him in Meatballs as Rudy the Rabbit, right? You saw him in My Bodyguard opposite Adam Baldwin, who sucks.
And that's
Now-
the last time you saw him.
Pretty much. Nowadays, he works behind the scenes as an assistant director. He worked on something I've never heard of called Silverman from 2003. And I bring it up because the IMDb description is thus: a street performer fights a pathological man for his girlfriend's love.
Wow. Wow.
A pathological man.
Pathological in what way?
I don't know. I don't
have
know.
to watch
I
it
can't.
to find
the
out.
movie, the
Like
movie
he's a
also-
hoarder?
It also has Eugene Levy in it, and I think Silverman is actually silver. He's either a musician or he's pictured holding guns and all of the like promotional material. This movie looks very strange.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this some Canadian like
Sounds like it.
Eugene Levy? And I think what's his name again?
Chris Makepeace.
Oh,
Yeah, he's from Canada, I believe.
he is Canadian.
Yeah.
This whole movie is basically Canadian.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
Canadian casting.
Oh, right, right.
Shot
Speak-
almost entirely. In,
no, speaking
in
of Canadian casting, we got Canadian lesbian Wendy Crewson.
That's a lesbian.
Yep. 2 for 1.
We're
2
going
for
that
1.
one.
She's a very busy actress who I've never heard of, and yet I've seen in a lot of movies and TV, appearing in such made-for-TV movies as Murder in Space, My Father, My Rival, and Spies, Lies, and Naked Thighs.
Whoa. All right.
That's a made-for-TV movie.
She was also on The Littlest Hobo.
Yep.
Speaking of Canada.
But also a bunch of fairly notable features like What Lies Beneath, the entire Santa Claus series, Air Force One, and that fucked up captive woman movie with Brie Larson, Room.
Oh,
All right. Well, get it, Wendy Crewson.
She's out there. She's still working,
Busy.
man. She's very busy. She's on TV a lot. I guess she's on that show Tracker as a sort of replaced a character that they lost or something like that. I don't know. But she's on a fairly high profile TV show now. Also, we get a special appearance by Kevin Peter Hall, the Predator.
We also get Susan Strasberg is in this.
There's a couple of other ladies in here that also kind of surprised me when I was looking over the cast. I was like, what are you doing in this movie?
Are you talking about the mayor from Jaws?
No, but I completely forgot that he's in this movie.
My girl, the mayor from Jaws.
So fucking funny. There's one tagline. It comes from the VHS release of the movie, and it is, danger lurks between fantasy and reality. Yeah. So here's a little Dungeons and Dragons trivia for your ass, because there's nothing to know about this movie.
Yeah.
D&D is the world's first and most popular role-playing game. In 2024, the brand sold over $1 billion in gaming materials alone. That's with a B. And that doesn't include movies and TV show and like t-shirts and shit. That's just like fucking miniatures, dice, and books. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons was first published in 1974 by Tactical Studies Rules Incorporated as a peculiar fantasy supplement for the miniatures wargame Chainmail. Like most war games of the era, Chainmail was primarily a historical simulation in the medieval milieu, but because these guys playing the games were all a bunch of gigantic stinky dorks, they were also all reading sword and sorcery fiction, and the crossover of medieval gaming and fantasy themes immediately made sense. Using the core rules of Chainmail, authors Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson developed the rudimentary rules that allowed players to create their own adventures in the model of their favorite fantasy settings.
And is Gary Gygax a good person? Absolutely not.
I don't know much about Gary. I know his son is either besmirching or carrying on his legacy. If you've never heard of D&D, frankly, I don't know how that's possible these days. It's a fantasy role-playing game. You create a character.
If you're younger, though, I think if younger audiences, they might know it as like a movie.
Maybe. You create a character by choosing a race and a class, which determines a starting set of advantages and skills. And then the dungeon master, sort of referee who directs the story, interprets die rolls, and plays the part of the monsters and non-player characters, leads you through an elaborate yes-and improv game that can last a single session or a year's worth of sessions. You can crawl through dungeons, avoid elaborate traps, kill monsters, and recover fabulous treasures. D&D was an immediate hit in hobby shops, spawned dozens of similar games with different themes and flavors, and because it encouraged people to be creative and use their imaginations to enjoy themselves, form strong social relations outside of the church, and enrich their lives through play, parents and authorities lost their fucking minds.
Yep, that's why this is going to be the most Republican movie I've ever seen, because they're basically like, don't you dare use your imagination. Creativity will get you killed.
Yeah. Among those people was our mother.
Mm-hmm.
My God, our mom, she never saw a moral panic that she didn't like.
It's true.
Oh my God.
It's true.
I cannot tell you how many times I have owned a copy of Slayer's Reign in Blood. It would mysteriously disappear from my room, even if I had it on an unlabeled cassette.
She just recently, when we were talking about the trans panic, she was like, well, but don't you think they have an unfair advantage on the sports teams? And I was like, I gotta go. Gotta go. Can't do this with you, sorry.
Dipping out of that conversation real fast.
Nope.
Yep. Critics of Dungeons & Dragons came in three primary flavors. Evangelical Christians who saw the game as a device of the occult, parents of teens who were players of the game that committed suicide, and craven opportunists who believed the hysteria or not saw a book deal in the blood.
And somehow this movie is the product of, I'm going to say, all three.
Oh yeah, this one casts the widest possible net.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because the sort of case that it sources itself from had none of the Satan stuff.
Well, do you want to get into that story?
He's next. So yeah, okay. He's the primary subject of tonight's movie, and this is, I'm presenting to you the extremely sad ordeal of James Dallas Egbert III.
Egbert, come on.
I know, for fuck's sake. Kid's doomed. And he plays Dungeons and Dragons.
He's a 15-year-old college student who plays Dungeons and Dragons.
Dallas Egbert was a child prodigy. By 13, he was graduating from high school. At 14, he entered Michigan State University, and his parents pushed him extremely hard to achieve. He was physically small and frail, and he was a child at university, surrounded by adults. Already feeling like an outcast in his third year at age 16, he realized that he was also gay. Burnt out, extremely depressed, and too young to drink, but extremely fucking gifted, he began synthesizing quaaludes in a lab on campus by himself.
I mean, good on you, buddy.
That is some ingenuity.
Drop a lewd, boil your hair. Come on now.
Come on, baby. In 1979, Dallas decided that he was done and retreated to the steam tunnels under his dormitory with a large amount of methaqualone and the intention of ending his life. However, the overdose didn't take and he awoke sometime later.
This will be the first of several tries.
Jesus Christ. His first instinct was to flee campus, and he crashed with friends in Lansing who shuffled him around a couple of houses for a few days before all parties involved, a few sympathetic individuals from the local gay community, then pooled their money and shipped him off to New Orleans, worried that when police inevitably came around, they'd be implicated in his disappearance, being, gay and predicting a missing teenager in the 70s.
Now, in their, I'm not going to say defense, what they should have done was shipped him back to where he came from.
I don't think he wanted to go back to where he
not
came
traffic
from,
a teenage boy.
Dallas, so they sent him out to New Orleans. So he attempts suicide a second time with a personal synthesis of arsenic that he made. And again,
Cyanide.
Oh, was it cyanide?
Cyanide, yeah.
Okay, it doesn't work though. And so now, alone and out of money, he calls up William Deere, his parents' private investigator, and arranges to come home.
Well, not quite. He, in the in-between times, he went and got a job in like an oil field.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
He's just a little boy.
And I think he was living with I think he had an uncle in New Orleans or something like that. A lot of the details from when I researched this case about kind of what he did after going down to New Orleans is not heavily reported on because William Deere agreed not to spill too much information out of respect for the family's privacy.
Yeah.
But by that time, the Dungeons and Dragons stuff was already rolling.
Right. Because again, William Deere is the guy who writes a book called The Dungeon Master, and it's about this case, right? It's not about like other
he
stuff.
He also seems a little sleazy though. Like he's not really on.
Well, yeah, because later on, like he revises his own book like several years later when the Dungeons and Dragons craze has sort of subsided and kids smoking crack and shit was like the new thing, and so it was all about how Dallas was like using drugs instead of playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and he was making his own Quaaludes.
Yeah. So he gets home, and a year later, he gets his hand on a handgun, and he shoots himself, and he does not survive that one, though he does for a few days.
Mm-hmm. I like how you're laughing while you say it.
I'm sorry. This is all very ridiculous. So
it is an incredibly sad story.
It's unfucking real, man. Because what was it? I remember one of the quotes that I think William Deere reported was Dallas had told him basically told him some stuff about like what it was like to kind of grow up in his family, because he had a younger brother who was also like a genius but was smarter than him, and he told his mom he was very happy about some grade he got in the thing. He scored like a general GPA of like 3.5, and his mom was like, you could get a 4 if you tried.
Wild, right?
Here's the really sad part about this, and I think about a lot like the parental expectations, I guess, because I think you see this a lot with like queer kids. I think you see it a lot right now with trans kids, where something terrible happens to a child, whether they end their life or they try to, or something really bad, and the parents inevitably look anywhere else but in the mirror.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, so I've got a story coming up shortly that is all about that.
Well, this is kind of a segue to that. But like the sad part is like, I don't know what it's like to have this happen to you. I'm sure it is extremely painful and in life altering in a way that you could never imagine. And so to have to look at yourself and be like, oh my God, this is my fault. There's probably, it's too destabilizing in a way.
Sure.
But the fact remains, it is your fault. You did this. And I think eventually his parents did sort of realize, oh my God, we played a part in this. I don't think they ever were like, this is kind of all on us. And of course it's not all on them, but there was like eventually what happened was there was like rumors, because he left a note when he left, or like when he went to, wherever he went to kill himself. He just like went to someone's apartment or some, random place.
Oh no, he went to,
into the tunnels.
He went into the tunnels where, like, I think the thing was is details about this story are kind of hard to come by, because all of it was sort of sourced from William Deere's interviews, which he sort of very selectively published.
Well,
and
here's what happens though, because the truth does come out eventually. It just doesn't all come from the same place, which is why it's weird and fragmented. So he goes and kills himself, but he left a note that was sort of like near some Dungeons and Dragons shit. It was just on the same table. Mm-hmm. And people were like, oh my God, he's lost his mind because of this game and he's gone to kill himself. Okay. And that's where, and then it get like, hold on, there's more.
No, let me jump in, because here's the thing, because up to this point, we've told this story. You'll notice that we have not mentioned Dungeons and Dragons once.
That's because it doesn't play a role.
What does this have to do with Dungeons and Dragons? Astute question, listener. Absolutely nothing.
Right. So this whole thing spins out. And because he's missing for a while, this thing, like a couple days, I think, and this thing, like this mystery, it's like, oh my God, has he gone crazy? And he thinks he's part of a game or whatever. And then, of course, they find him. And eventually what happens is the parents don't want to say anything. William Deere makes some kind of vague statements, And it's like a friend of his is like, hey, here's the real fucking story. Here's what actually happened. And he tells the story basically one time. And his mother after that was like, if you want to know, it's in this article in the New York Times. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And so that's really like the one time what actually happened, just the sad part about him being depressed and essentially going and killing himself. That's the one time it's been told, but it's been told retold so many times by so many interested parties that it all just sort of gets, mixed up and mushy after a while. But there's a quote from his mother, like kind of right after the New York Times article comes out, where like that's the one she just keeps directing everyone back to. And eventually the quote she says, what she tells them is, he ran away from school. There's no intrigue left. There's no mystery. It's all just a pathetic case. He was too bright.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that is a very sad thing to say, but it's also a very true thing to say. And his parents go on to start a foundation for extremely gifted children who have a kind of like just sort of historically children of that level of intelligence have really struggled to kind of like assimilate into normal groups, like average groups. And so it did get this conversation started, and I don't think it lasted very long because quite frankly, we have a very short attention span in this country. But there is this kind of conversation swirling around it about like, how do we deal with these kids? Because we know about adults who are extremely intelligent, but we don't know what to do about children. We don't know how to help them or where to put them. Like, I didn't even realize until very recently, because I asked a friend of mine who works in special ed, I said, do they put extremely intelligent children in special education? He was like, yeah, it's both sides of the spectrum. It's anybody who needs additional support, whether it is because they are not functioning at a certain level or because they are functioning way beyond a certain level. And it's kind of interesting, but then the whole thing dies down and the D&D thing kicks up. And that's what brings us to our next story.
Yeah. So we enter Rona Jaffe, who we kind of talked about up top. Magazine columnist with some fiction under her belt. 1981, inspired by the Dallas Egbert story, number similar but very fake stories that rose along with the rising hysteria about Dungeons & Dragons, and teenagers using their imaginations to momentarily escape how much it sometimes sucks to be a teenager in America. She writes the book Mazes and Monsters, which is not a work of nonfiction. However, a lot of people have mistaken it for that. And it ends up getting adapted into this movie.
And that book is heavily references the James Dallas Egbert story.
It's basically that. It's ripped off of that whole story.
Yeah. Because his family did hire like private investigators when he went missing, and they were like finding out all of this information. Apparently, like they were in these steam tunnels. They were playing these kind of grand these grand games of Dungeons and Dragons kind of just beyond the tabletop. But then when the investigators started coming around, apparently, it just got spun out of control. And then the headlines were hitting. And then by the time it came out that Dungeons and Dragons didn't really have anything to do with his disappearance, that didn't get the headlines. And the big headlines about this kid going missing because he lost his mind playing Dungeons and Dragons was the thing that everybody remembered. And nobody got the resolve because it wasn't the flashy headline that people wanted. It
had to be the sort of addition of the kind of LARP element. Because
exactly.
LARPing is a very sort of easy evolution to get to. Like, what if you're inclined to put on a costume and you're like a fucking drama geek, you're gonna fucking love this shit because you get to actually like physically, take on this character. You're no longer just sitting around a table and shit. To outsiders, that must look really fucking weird.
Right.
Yeah, it does, actually. This outsider right here is telling you that looks real fucking strange. But hey, I say have fun, kids.
Yeah. In Quebec, the LARPing is pretty big. There is a place, the Tam Tams, just underneath Mont-Royal in Montreal, and every Saturday people would go there to LARP. And you could go out and have a picnic, and there'll just be people running around with swords, LARPing. There's huge, Renaissance fairs that people go to, and they dress up, and they create all of these. They come kind of like, I'm going to be this character for the weekend, and everybody is just in on it, and everybody's playing a role that they want to play. It really,
I've never like LARPed fantasy, but I have done Call of Cthulhu. So like,
cool.
it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself tremendously. Yeah. So now, the short and disturbing tale of Irving Pulling. So Irving Bink Pulling was another gifted teenager in Virginia.
Come on, man. Where are they naming these kids from?
God, I fucking know Bink. And in that 60 Minutes thing I sent you, they keep calling him Bink, and it just sounds weirder and weirder every time they say it. Because eventually, like, the talking heads from, like, 60 Minutes are, like, saying it, but they're doing it in the 60 Minutes voice, and it's like,
right.
Jesus Christ, he has a real name, you guys.
And that's what grinds my gears.
So he found comfort from the social pressures of being a weird kid in high school in a high school D&D club. All we know about Pulling following his death comes from the mouth of his mother, Patricia Pulling, who
is a lunatic.
Placed the blame squarely at the feet of Dungeons & Dragons and actually tried to sue TSR over her son's death. She blames the school and its game for driving him to suicide when his character was cursed by another character in an ongoing game.
What else can you do?
I know. Irving shot himself in the chest shortly after the game session in question. She founded an advocacy group of which she was, I think, the only member, called BADD, Bad, Bothered About Dungeons and Dragons. Tyler, you mentioned it before. What a name.
Woo!
Oh,
that was just the first thing she thought of.
Was just like,
she was like, oh, you know what? I am bothered. I am bothered about this Dungeons and Dragons.
Because
Wait a minute.
There was Mad, which was Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
She's standing on the shoulders of giants.
Phoning it in.
As she was in charge of this until her death in the 90s, it put her out there as an expert for parents and prosecutors trying to tie their children's deaths to Dungeons and Dragons. Though her official line has always been that she had no idea what was going on with him and that his suicide came out of nowhere, she has occasionally let her guard down and informed at a seminar in 1986 that he had been displaying extremely bizarre behavior in the run-up to his suicide. He also threatened to kill his sister a couple of times.
Did she have it coming? Who's to say?
Who knows? But I'll tell you who didn't. The 18 rabbits that they found fucking ripped apart in the backyard, and the family cat, which had been killed and mutilated, and she suspects that her son did it.
Okay, I'm going to say it's maybe for the best that I don't want to say the suicide was good, but I think he may have spared some ladies' lives.
So yeah, there is an article by an author named Michael Stackpole who he wrote it in 1989 as a sort of rebuttal to all of this. And he it's mostly a fucking, like, he is gunning for Patricia Pulling, like, very specifically, but at the end of the article is like maybe a dozen cases that Bad and also a group called NTCV, or NCTV, which was like a very similar group that worked with Patricia Pulling to kind of tie like TV violence and nascent video games and role-playing games to like violent teen behavior.
And I should say the typical MO for these organizations, their typical approach to all this is to cherry pick these 12 cases and misrepresent, represent them as though they are kind of a normative thing.
Yeah. And so Stackpole really did his research on this, and he fucking followed her work, and those details came from him because like he was like watching videotapes and like reading shit that she was publishing and stuff, and like that's where that detail came from.
She also worked closely, I can't remember his name, but some huckster psychologist who ended up going to jail years later for just like malpractice.
Fantastic.
She worked like alongside him a lot in the 80s too, so she just was not surrounded by the greatest entourage.
Yeah, I mean, they are all like lunatics and grifters of the same. Somewhere operating in the same circles, if not the same like domain specifically. Like you've got the satanic people, you get the Michelle Remembers bullshit. Like you've got all these people that they're basically pitching you the same moral panic. And I'm going to say a significant number of them were kind of jockeying for expert positions so they could get on talk shows, write books.
As an expert witness, you could make a lot of fucking money.
Yep. Yeah, that's the guy who wrote Michelle Remembers. That was kind of his gig. Like that's how he made money.
Just promoting this book.
In the 80s and 90s, there was a pretty significant cottage industry. Like you could be a professional expert witness, like the guy who presented the evidence that ultimately convicted Damien Eccles was that.
Yep.
Like that was his whole thing. Was he got up and he was like, this is what this symbol means, and this is what this Metallica T-shirt means, and obviously he's a murderous Satanist. And they were like, "Fucking, well, I'm sold." He's
and
an
it all
expert.
goes back. It all goes back. Like it has its roots in like sideshows and like tent revival shit, like traveling shows where people would do this. They would get up and basically be professional liars.
Yeah. Yeah. The sad truth, the case bad, is that Patricia Pulling could just never confront what happened, and instead used this stuff to just sort of drive her crusade. Was that the problem was that her son was extremely sick and his parents were just totally incapable of getting him help.
And that is the case, I think, for a lot of these tragedies that have been tied or blamed or have been tied to Dungeons and Dragons, and that Dungeons and Dragons has been blamed for. Because I think people didn't realize at the time how popular Dungeons and Dragons was and how many people were playing it that weren't being affected by all of these things.
Sure, I think in the mid '80s when that 60 minutes segment went on, that I'm pretty sure our mother saw. Gary Gygax and I think his another guy from the company were like 8 million people in America alone play this game, and you've told me about like 3 people who've done something violent.
It'd be like saying everybody who plays baseball is going to go out there and commit violent crimes because they play baseball, right? Like, that's how ridiculous this sounds. Yeah, exactly.
Now the fans, on the other hand, I think what is true about this and kind of all these moral panic stories is that at the end of the day, these are just tragic stories about like young people who are desperately struggling with mental illness in a country that neither cares about nor wants to help them get any assistance with this. And then in walks someone like Rona Jaffe or all these other fucking hucksters who exploit and misrepresent the story for money and attention. Yeah. And it's what happens every single time.
Yeah, it's like what we've seen in some of the movies that we've done, and like just some of the shit that we've kind of kicked around on the side as like proposed side projects, is that like ever since the end of World War II, like this country has lived in mortal fear of teenagers. And it just the thing that they get afraid of, like the behavior, the sort of the behavior never changes. It's restlessness and kids fighting against their parents' expectations, and just the thing that the parents always point to just changes every few years,
Right. It's always about, you're not like me when you're supposed to be like me, and now I don't understand you, and I don't like that, and I don't understand the things you're interested in. And a lot of this stuff, it typically is kind of revolves around technology in the broadest sense. Like, and it's crazy the things that have ignited moral panics. Jukeboxes ignited, pinball ignited a huge moral panic to the point where
pinball was outlawed in this country, or
the East River,
or not in this country, but a number of states outlawed it, mostly because the companies that were distributing the machines were owned by organized crime.
The mob. Yeah. But there was such a moral panic in New York that LaGuardia instructed that all of the pinball machines in the city be rounded up and dumped into the East River. In the river.
They were dumping everything in the fucking river.
Well,
that explains Tommy. That makes Tommy make so much more sense.
Yeah. Now, and it's just like we do this every single time, and it's like, hey, everybody, just fucking cool it. You're not going to get it. I fully understand that I am a middle-aged man. And I look around and I'm like, these kids that are 6, 7 and listening to their fucking Pink Pony Club, I'm like, hey, I don't understand it. It looks like you guys are having a good time, so please carry on. I will be over here with my horror movies from the 80s and my Swedish art films.
Yeah.
Good night and good luck.
So the thing was also another factor in the 80s that did kind of work in the hysterics' favor is that there was a sort of rise, and a not an insignificant rise in teen suicides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
According to CDC statistics, teen suicides, primarily among young males, rose sharply from 1980 to 1990 and then fell off sharply from 1990 to 2000. Now,
that is going to be an extremely complicated thing, though. I don't know if you're going there, but like it's sort of like with AIDS deaths where the way that they would get recorded was it would be something else.
Okay.
It was pneumonia that killed them. There was
right.
not, and so because there was so much stigma. So in the past, the coroner or the medical examiner might not put suicide because he would be like, I don't want to saddle the family with this. So I'm going to say natural causes or whatever, accident. And so it's like, it looks like that because you're finally actually putting what happened rather than trying to kind of like, uphold this sort of false sense of, I don't know, morality or whatever.
Yeah. No, what I wanted to actually, the picture I kind of want to paint here is a cross section of a couple of graphs. So you have this kind of spike, this rise from 1980 to 1990, but by 1984, sales of D&D were stagnant. New games were coming into the market by the dozens each year, and D&D games were in decline. And so it should go without saying that the rise of teen suicides coincides with a decline in D&D gaming. So the data doesn't really support the claims anymore.
No, what it tells me is that without Dungeons and Dragons, teenagers be killing themselves left and right.
Right. The kids, they need their dungeons and they need their dragons.
Yep.
They need new Judas Priest records, they need Ozzy Osbourne records, and they need Dungeons and Dragons.
Specifically those two. Yeah. But that's my sort of roundup of Dungeons and Dragons and the history of Dungeons and Dragons hysteria. In a nutshell, it's fucking crazy, y'all. It's way bigger than that.
It would take about as long as playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons to explain the Dungeons and Dragons panic. In fact, I think a campaign of Dungeons and Dragons might be shorter.
Yeah, right. It's this story is the dungeon master who insists he's got it all mapped out, but he doesn't really.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. No,
there are people who dedicate their lives to writing about and studying this single thing.
Yeah, yeah. Like there was, I think there was another story that I kind of omitted just because it was really long. It didn't really matter, but there was a kid named Darren. I think his name is Darian Moliette, who he actually did commit murders, and where all of the other there were very few survivors in these to sort of rebut the claims. Pat Pulling and another guy came along and were like, "Hey, Dungeons and Dragons did this to you, didn't it?" Because they found out that he played D&D, and he was like, "Yeah."
It was like, they did now.
Actually. And and so he became a case study as proof that this is a...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Pat Pulling, she tried to get into the court to make a statement for that case. She was denied, of course, and it was that other like huckster like psychologist who wasn't actually a psychologist who ended up going to jail for malpractice. He was the other guy who was like really trying to pin this murder case on Dungeons and Dragons.
Can you imagine being the judge who's just like, would you go home?
Yeah. So were there any reactions to this movie, like press reactions?
There sure were, and ooh boy. Ahem. There were several reviews. I'm going to start with John O'Connor from the New York Times. Miss Jaffe takes her story and characters through some fairly predictable turns as the game proceeds to its, quote, logical extension. But gradually, her carefully diagrammed contraption begins to work with reasonable effectiveness. The plot takes some startling turns, but the game players take it all in stride, and in the end, the film achieves a broader rites of passage experience than most viewers might be expecting. I don't know what movie John O'Connor watched, but I don't think it's this one.
Huh. I guess they see a sort of fucking hero's journey in the story.
You will notice you are on one side or the other of this movie.
This is a person who is like, the Campbell hero of 1,000 faces story.
Yes. The Associated Press, Fred Rothenberger. The movie works well on several levels.
Doesn't really.
No.
It's an intelligent thriller that doesn't get outlandish or heavy-handed. What? The camaraderie of the four players offers an authentic portrait of close-knit college friendships that, removed from the adult world, fulfill a variety of roles and needs. Mazes and Monsters also explores that thin line between reality and illusion, which at any time can be perforated by the monsters of the mind, often the scariest kind.
Oh my gosh.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Here is Marvin Kittman of Newsday. TV is not very good doing fantasy. That's because it's not very good at doing reality. So when the movie tries to go from the reality of the college scenes into the world of mazes and monsters, you don't jump very far. There are some snappy lines in the opening scene, but don't let that fool you. Rona Jaffe's Mazes and Monsters is just the sort of TV that drove all of our most gifted children and adults into Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm going to say it's Rona Jaffe's fault.
I know. I think I would have loved to have met somebody who was like, man, this Mazes and Monsters game sounds fucking awesome.
Right.
Well, I'm going to tell you about someone who doesn't think it does sound awesome. This is Michael Hill of the Baltimore Sun. I will say, this movie got a lot more critical attention than TV movies typically.
Usually, because we've done a few this year, and usually it's like a couple of writers have like
I have to
have like 100 words to say about it.
So here we go. Michael Hill. TV has the ability to take you to Fantasyland, but Mazes and Monsters never does. It doesn't even attempt to get you to understand what the appeal of this game is all about. Instead, the film just lamely tells a half-baked mystery adventure about a young boy going mad. In its conclusion, the film tries for sanctimony that seems to be some preachy message for children and parents alike, telling them to stay away from those games as if they are the cocaine of the mid-'80s. I'd like to point out that I think cocaine was the cocaine of the mid-'80s.
And in a lot of ways, crack was the cocaine of the late 80s.
Yes. And finally, to my favorite critic, the IMDb.
Oh, give this shit to me. Put it right in my veins.
Perhaps one of the most horrendous movies I have ever seen. Mazes and Monsters felt like I wasted 101 minutes of my life. What cut of the movie were they watching?
That's a long movie.
The only redeeming quality.
Did they watch the director's cut? Was there more that we didn't see?
Was it not 101 minutes? It was an hour and 40
it's like
minutes.
an hour and a half.
It felt so long. Maybe there were more hats.
That's 101 minutes, though.
Okay.
An hour and 41 minutes
It
is
does feel like it's
101
on forever.
Oh, yeah.
The only redeeming quality of the movie were scenes that tried to be serious, but just ended up being funny since they were so bad. If you want to avoid wasting your time and money, steer clear of this junk. Even though the cover looks kinda interesting, it in no way takes place in a fantasy realm, unless you consider New England or New York City to be such a place. And I do.
New York City truly is a land of wonders.
Seems to be in monsters.
Oh God! All right, so we've dragged this out long enough, shall we?
We must.
Let's do it.
We open on fire trucks and police arriving at some sort of emergency. There's a reporter begging a dude about details, but he can't seem to give them up yet.
That dude, the mayor from Jaws.
It was.
That's how you know it's not going to go well. He cannot handle a crisis.
No, the guy's terrible. It would seem that someone who was found in some sort of tunnel system, maybe some game called Mazes and Monsters, got out of hand at the old university.
And this is where we get one of my favorite quotes in the movie. I'm going to just say half my notes are quotes from the movie. This is the first one. That is, in case you don't know, Mazes and Monsters encourages fantasy and creativity and will always, I repeat, always end in tragedy and devastation.
Wild.
Yes. Yeah. Glenn Hayden reports from the scene. Have you, the viewer of this news report, ever heard of Mazes and Monsters? Don't be ridiculous. You're just normal men. Just innocent men. The players create fantastical characters and try to amass a fortune without being killed or something. Unfortunately for this university student, the distinction between fantasy and reality became a blur. Back to you, Kent. So now
Jesus Christ.
Now we title in on a cheap Carpenter's knockoff song with an arrangement by Burt Bacharach.
I have titled this Love Theme from Mazes and Monsters.
It's so fucking funny.
Together forever.
Special friends. And I love
so
that
good.
I think we get a couple of variations of this song throughout the movie.
Oh yeah, they paid
'Cause
for
it's-
one song.
Yeah. The composer of that song was also the composer for the movie, so I think it was like, because I tried to find the actual song, but I could only find instrumental versions. I couldn't find any versions of the lyrics.
Yeah. Okay.
Now his name, the guy who did the music, his name is Hagood Hardy.
That's it.
That's a J.K. Rowling character.
Already. And I'm going to guess he's Canadian because he did the music for Rituals. Remember you seen Rituals?
Shit, yeah, Rituals is pretty good.
Pretty decent movie. Portrait of an Escort.
Ooh.
And of Green Gables, which is extremely Canadian.
Yes.
And The Care Bears in the Land Without Feelings, which is a very sad title.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So now, 6 months earlier, JJ arrives home to his family's uptown apartment in New York. He's wearing a German military helmet from World War I. One of those helmets with a spike on top. Why?
Pith helmet.
Why? A pith helmet? Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think.
Why? As you will see, JJ has a real taste for hats.
Yeah, he does.
His mother is a fucking lunatic who greets him with two air kisses and informs us through clumsy exposition that he's a bit of a child genius.
I love how everybody, like all the parents in this movie, it's just like, they're wealthy and they're completely fucking insane.
Yeah. His mother specifically was giving like Aunt from Sleepaway Camp's vibes.
Oh, yes.
Like hard. Like, what is this woman? Who is this woman? Like, run away, JJ.
I know.
I think we're supposed
away.
to get that she's like a wealthy, but also she's eccentric because she's a designer and an artist because she also transforms his bedroom into what looks like the safe room of a psychiatric hospital.
I was going to say it is remodeled into a nightmare of white tile, looking like a hospital in a Ken Russell movie.
Yeah, his mother has terrible taste.
I kind of like the walls. I would have added maybe a bit more colorful furniture, but I think as a blank slate, it's workable.
Oh yeah, it's all white tile, and all the furniture and decorations are also white. It's a fucking nightmare.
I think it's a little bit rich, Tyler, that you say that because aside from me, whose apartment is full of crap, you have the most colorful apartment I've ever seen.
Yeah, but it's at a base of white and black.
Okay.
So that's
fair
what
enough.
I'm saying. It's like a blank canvas, you know? You could work with that. You could work with that black and white tile. No problem. Make it pop. Keep the room neutral and bring the color in with the objets.
She tried to do that, except everything else was white too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, his mom is some kind of interior decorator to the stars, it seems. JJ hates it, but he has a mockingbird in a cage named Merlin, and it talks to him, and that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, because he's like, this is my sanctuary. It's my nest. And I was like, God, you sound so gay. Come on.
But according to Merlin, birds don't talk. What the fuck was this bird?
Well, Merlin says about four things.
That shit it's cute. It's cute. Birds don't talk. It says something. Oh, poor JJ is what it also says.
Yeah, so he's enlisted this bird in his self-pity.
Yeah.
It's true.
Elsewhere in the city, yeah, I mean, right out of the gate, like if you didn't already go into this knowing that Tom Hanks is the one who's going to go insane, you would probably assume that JJ is the one who goes insane because he is surrounded by madness.
Yeah, his mother is deranged.
They completely set it up that way, and then they just decide to not.
Yeah.
You know, they create the whole arc, and then they're just like, never mind. We're going to do something else.
Like everybody in this movie kind of has like qualities of the Dallas Egbert.
Yes,
like where
exactly.
he's the child prodigy here.
Yeah.
Maybe Chris Makepeace just couldn't carry that role.
And
so they were like,
Tom, you're gonna
fuck
have
it.
to do
It's
this.
Tom Hanks, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think Tom Hanks could really carry the role.
No, I
know
don't
how,
think he can either.
You would not know from this movie that Tom Hanks went on to be an Academy Award winner.
Just buckle up,
Get
everybody.
into
I'm
it, but what
I'm
the
gonna
fuck?
do a Tom Hanks impression later. It's gonna be good.
I cannot
It's
fucking
really
wait.
good.
Elsewhere in the city, Kate and her mom talk about her parents' divorce. He married a new girl named Chlorine or something.
And Kate looks like she's in her mid-30s, and her mother treats her like she's her friend.
Yeah. Kate hates all the dudes at school because she's smart, and smart girls scare the shitty bros at school. Doesn't matter though. She's gonna be a writer.
Yep, and she does. And obviously, as a writer, all female writers, what we know of the past is that they don't need men.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They just need their books.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, your Susan Sontag's is. Your Emily Bronte's is.
Yeah. Out in the burbs, Daniel's parents grill him about transferring to MIT to study computer science. Daniel wants to make video games. His parents think that's cute. Computers are more important, Daniel. You know that.
His mother, his parents are money-obsessed Republicans.
They are. His mom is played by fucking Anne Francis from Forbidden Planet.
Yep.
And
so
she
yeah,
really-
so his mom is
yeah.
Anne Francis. Susan Strasberg is Kate's mom. I don't know who.
Vera Miles plays.
Vera Miles is
Robbie's mom.
mom.
She's Marion Crane's sister in Psycho.
And well, she's been in enough. You don't relegate her to Marion Crane's
For
sister.
fuck's
She's been in a
sake,
ton of stuff.
She's a significant character in Psycho, a fucking fantastic movie.
His father is somebody too. I can't remember.
Yeah, but Anne Francis's hair in this movie is fucking wild. It looks like, have you ever seen those like samurai helmets that kind of like are like triangular and then they have like a weird like wing on the front? It's like that.
They were like, we only have hair for 1 hour today, so we're going to make it as stiff as we possibly can so it lasts throughout the whole day.
And do not wash your hair for the next 5 weeks.
Exactly.
Yep. So now here we are. Wait, hold up. I forgot. No, I did not forget Robbie yet. Here we are at Grant University. JJ shows up in a ridiculous cowboy hat.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like the cowboy hat from Sleepaway Camp.
It's funny. It's funny, you know, because it's bigger than a normal hat.
Right. I was going to say it's like a Turd Ferguson hat.
He runs into Katie, who is so excited to see him. They're going to get with Daniel, and then they're going to find a fourth player for their gaming group. Someone they can rely on, you know? Someone who won't freak out.
Yeah, someone whose parents aren't raging monsters who has a very fragile psyche.
Not going to happen in this movie.
No, sir. Out on the road, Robbie's parents drive him to school. This time, he's going to focus on his studies. There won't be any time for those silly games he plays. His dad is a Republican hardass, and his mom is a drunk.
Yeah, his parents are George and Martha from Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
She is, I swear to God, even in this scene, she is like holding a martini glass.
She's like, and another thing.
Like, literally.
Yeah, they argue the whole way. She's the queen of the harpies, she is. Oh,
It's
fuck.
like, maybe that's why your kid's fucked up, you know?
Oh,
Maybe
God.
he
I
needs
know
a
that's
fantasy world
awkward.
to escape into.
But that's the thing, is this movie seems to recognize that, where it sets these kids up with these fucking horrible parents.
Well, so I wonder, what is the difference between the screenplay and the book? Because the screenplay, the guy who wrote it, who has, I will also say, has directed a lot of softcore pornography. The guy who wrote it, he also wrote Stigmata.
The movie with
The Gabriel
Patricia
Byrne.
Arquette.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I wonder if he was sort of like leaned into that. It was just like, yeah, I don't think it's D&D. I think it's these fucking loser parents.
Yeah, I was just going to say, who knows what didn't make it into this movie? Who knows what the script, like, do we even have, does the script even exist? Does anybody even care enough to hold on to this script? Probably not.
Because
Right?
it does seem to recognize that, like, these kids are under some fucking shit. Their lives are not good because their parents have their lives planned out for them, and they seem to also recognize that the game is a fucking awesome way to sort of just get out of that for a little while. But then by the end of the movie, they're like, oh, well, no. I mean, obviously, he just played too much Dungeons and Dragons, and that's really it, isn't it?
The message we get at Daniel's parents' house when they're having dinner is basically like, Daniel, your father and I love you very much. We just want you to change everything about yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what we're laying witness to is extreme incompetence in storytelling.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. So mom makes Robbie promise that he won't play that awful game anymore. His dad, talking like Robert Stack on Unsolved Mysteries, wishes him luck with a firm handshake.
And then we get to Grant University, and I was very excited where Grant University is.
Where is it? Because I kept thinking it was in New York. I thought they were going to school
It is not
in
in New York. It is in Toronto.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
You didn't recognize it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
So what is that?
just because he's from Canada, just from Toronto, he knows all the
That's
spots
a Canadian
in Toronto.
tree. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is a fairly significant landmark.
Listen, look, hey, racist, all right?
What is that? Is that University of Toronto? Is that what it is?
The University of Toronto, it does exist, yes. I don't know
Yes,
if that's where this was.
I believe that is where they are, yeah.
So now we cut to JJ in an aviator's helmet for some fucking reason.
Why not? This is his third hat. Oh, wait, I forgot to tell you my favorite My favorite note on the, every now and then I'll look at the IMDb trivia, and my favorite piece of IMDb trivia was, over the course of the film, JJ wears 8 different hats and changes hats 14 times. 26
Perfect.
people found that bit of information helpful.
I was literally going to ask that question. I was like, did anybody keep a hat count? Because I didn't think
I
to
do.
do with that.
The fucking people that IMDb did.
Yes. Bless them.
I'm surprised it didn't devolve into like a haberdashery argument.
Oh fuck! Like any movie with a car or a gun in it.
Yup.
Yeah, he spies Robbie at the bulletin board, checking out the post for the group, looking for a Mazes and Monsters player. Robbie turns him out. No games.
What I wonder though is, do you think JJ was just sitting there in the cafeteria all day, just waiting for someone to go look at his flyer?
Yeah.
he
Yes.
definitely gives that impression.
like an animal
Just
ready
like,
to pounce.
just like sitting there, like tapping his pencil against the desk, like all day, like trying not to look at the clock.
Right.
Come
He's
on,
smart
come
enough. He doesn't have to
on.
study, you know? He doesn't have to waste his time on books.
Yeah,
It seems
just
like that's all they
stalk
do is
people
play
in the
this
cafeteria.
fucking game.
yeah. Robbie's like, hey, no games, man, not for me. And so JJ invites him to his dorm for a party. So when Robbie arrives, it's all wine and cheese and a poster for the movie Without Warning.
Yeah, this is Brigitte Bardot's birthday party, I guess.
Something like that.
Oh, yeah, it was Brigitte Bardot's birthday party, which I looked up. It was the 28th. So if you're curious as the 28th of September, if you're curious as to the exact date that this is supposed to be happening.
Okay.
I didn't count the hats, but I did look up Brigitte Bardot's birthday.
I say next year we have a Brigitte Bardot birthday party.
I think we should, and we all wear funny hats.
And then we all go into a cave and get lost.
Because if y'all think I don't have a lot of funny hats, well, come on now.
But yeah, like looking around here, I got hats.
I could
Make
source
this happen.
one. I could find one.
So yeah, Robbie meets. Oh yeah, also JJ's wearing a hard hat. Robbie meets Kate in the crowd and introduces himself, transferring over from Tufts because his grades were shit and he played Mazes and Monsters too much. Good thing those days are behind him though. He can finally focus on his
imagine
studies.
Somerville in 1981. Yikes.
But hey, check it out. She also plays 9th level, same as him. So then
And
she.
look, the pressure, they are going to come on so hard right now. No means no, guys.
I know it's almost like they're like a satanic cult and they need a new person in the cult.
It's almost like they're talking about Dungeons and Dragons like they're talking about fucking cocaine.
All right, Dungeons and Dragons, the cocaine of the 80s.
Yes.
Cocaine.
Somebody
the
doesn't
Dungeons
get
and
out
Dragons
much.
of the 80s.
So then she introduces him to Daniel and they press him into playing Mazes and Monsters. So now later
They
on.
do, but like it's they're just like, oh come on, you got to. And he's like, hey, yeah, no, I got to focus. And they're like, do it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Exactly.
and then they like bonk him over the head with a stick and he wakes up at the table the next day.
Tied to the chair.
Later on, we meet at the table. Daniel is the maze controller, the movie's stand-in for the Dungeon Master. They roll out their characters. Kate is a fighter, JJ is a rogue, I think, and Robbie is a cleric. And they begin to play surrounded by candles, which seems a little dangerous. Oh, and JJ is also wearing another silly hat.
We also get some good footage, some shots of the occult symbols in their notebooks.
That's right.
Oh, I didn't notice, but of course.
Satan.
Yeah, the next day, Robbie enters the library with way too many books, a comical amount of books, I would say. And he sits with Kate. Cut to a montage of them doing stuff together, playing M&M, smiling awkwardly at one another. It's set to a saccharine duet that is definitely not meant to sound like endless love.
No, we will get other reprise of love theme for Mazes and Monsters. This is not it though.
No.
But isn't it a little early for a romantic montage? Because they never really establish that they're a couple now. It's just like we jump forward in time and they're like, oh, I guess they're dating. Whatever. It doesn't
It's
matter.
almost like the
But we don't
montage.
even- yeah.
It's almost like the montage of Don't Panic.
Yes. When they're just like, and then they do this and they eat breakfast and then they go to the movies and hey, they're married.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we also know in like retrospective, like the timeline that's presented in this movie, that if they met on September 28th, later on in the movie, they're having a pre-Halloween party. So at most, they've been together for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And that's a sign of mental illness right there. That's the first red flag, everybody.
Right? They become so codependent so fast, so quickly because of Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, sorry, Mazes and Monsters.
So Robbie tells Kate about his brother. It's a weird story about this party his mom threw on Halloween. And then, when nobody was looking, the dude just slipped out into the night, never to be seen
This is
again.
the fucking weirdest plot point.
It
Your
really
brother
is.
just walks out into the darkness and is never seen again.
Yeah, but it's not fully it. So Robbie's brother, later on, he fucking rolls this out. He asked him for all of his money so he could go to New York. So I guess we kind of do know where his brother went.
Well, and then he's just like, he said he would keep in touch, but he didn't. And I was like, yeah, because he hated you all. We've seen your parents.
Yeah, right. He went to fucking New York and he's sniffing poppers at the Eagle.
And then he's just like, I dream about him. I dream about him a lot.
Yeah.
Transition into a dream sequence.
His brother's name is Hall. We definitely saw him when we did the movie Crewson.
Oh, yeah, well,
So,
you gotta run away.
yeah. That night he has a dream about chasing his brother. Robbie has a lot on his mind, it seems.
It is extremely subtle. I dream about him a lot. Dream sequence.
Dream sequence of him running in place.
Yes, with like signs flashing by him.
The next day, Daniel and JJ paint their M&M miniatures.
And JJ wearing a new hat.
Yep.
Got a trilby on.
JJ, yeah, that's right, declares that he wants to be a movie star or he'll settle for TV. Daniel, on the other hand, is a lover of love, and he's dogged by this reputation for being a real pussy hound.
Yeah.
It's making it hard for him to just find the right girl.
He's
poor
just
guy.
like, I don't know why. All these ladies just throwing their vaginas in my face. All I want is a conversation.
So JJ goes.
I was gonna do the pussy scene from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah. Oh, shit. So JJ goes to see if Kate is around to play Eminem, and Robbie answers the door. JJ is disturbed by the implications here. Where are these kids
Yeah, because
getting...
it's been 2 fucking weeks.
Exactly. Also, where are these kids getting these fucking awesome dorms? They're like fucking hotel suites.
Right.
So,
This is Grant University. This is not cheap.
no. JJ and his Trilby go back to his room all bummed out. Now he romanticizes suicide.
This blows my mind. I was
couldn't-
like, is
the
he
way that this is-
romanticizing suicide?
The way that this is handled, because he's like wistfully coming up with all these ways. He's like, yeah, I could hang myself, I suppose, but nobody will remember that.
How romantic would it be if they found me with my brains splattered all over the tunnels?
What if I crashed my motorcycle into the dorm? That's not cool enough. Hey,
I might shit my pants.
Hey, what if I committed suicide in the Forbidden Caverns or something like that? And then it makes him smile.
And then the bird is like, yeah, do it.
Yeah. The bird is basically just Chat GPT being like, good idea.
The void will be so much warmer and cozier.
No, this is a great idea, JJ. Here's some helpful ways to help you kill yourself.
Yeah.
That night.
Don't make your own cyanide. That won't do it.
Now, what I was thinking is right here, this is just him musing, But then he gets on his motorcycle and rides down to the fucking caverns to do it.
Yeah. All of this because he found fucking one dude with the girl, I guess, that he likes. It's just sort of implied that that's why he's upset.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Now, Jesus Christ. At the dorms, Robbie brings Kate to his place and asks her to move in with him.
Okay. So red flag number 2, right here.
And he does this by presenting her with a double bed.
A double bed.
That was the worst part. I said that is the saddest part about this.
Because my note says no way in hell that bed could fit the two of them on the regular.
No. I've tried sharing a double bed with somebody. It doesn't work.
No good.
No.
No good. Yeah, she's not ready, not into it, causing static. Look, she values her privacy, and he's definitely moving too fast.
Robbie, come on, buddy. You gotta have a conversation first. You don't just be like, here's your key, welcome home. Because you sound like a crazy person when you do that.
Her reaction is definitely appropriate, where she's like, slow down, Romeo.
Yeah, she's basically just like, hey, I really enjoy spending time with you, but this and a double bed? No.
It's like Bridget Bardot just celebrated her birthday, and now we're moving in together.
Exactly. What would Bridget Bardot say right now if she were here?
JJ breaks into the caverns and sneaks
Dressed
around.
in his old-timey spelunking gear to go
like,
kill himself in the taverns. Imagine the people who find his body, how confused they would be.
Oh, I know.
Right?
I know. And especially since nobody goes up there, like he would be gone for fucking like I presume maybe a year before somebody goes up there and like maybe stumbles onto his desiccated body.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at that point
this
you're
is-
mummified. Nobody can recognize you. Your moment
This is
has
how you
passed.
this is how you get a nutty putty cave incident, okay?
Yeah.
You gotta tell people where you're going.
No. Where
And also don't go spelunking.
No.
so then he lights up some kind of torch and looks around.
Yeah, no, where did he get a Victorian era torch?
This is like a fucking prop from a King Diamond video.
Yeah.
Yeah. So later on, he's back playing Eminem with the crew. JJ, bummed, pulls an impulsive move and dives into
New
it.
hat.
Yep.
New hat.
Yep.
Safari hat.
You know what? He probably raids the drama department. That's probably where
Well,
he
he-
got that torch.
This is where he
Probably
gets
where he's
the,
getting all these hats.
This is
I'm
where he
glad-
gets the
this is-
costumes
This is
later.
why we have you on.
Filling in the gaps here.
That's
people.
right. So
This
yeah,
is where JJ, he goes, I'd like to propose a new game. And my note is, oh no, he's going to suggest autoerotic asphyxiation.
or he's just gonna
gonna-
say, "Hey guys, we should all just fuck," you know?
It's going to be weird sex stuff, isn't it, JJ? Come on,
he-
man.
he-
You're too young.
He's bummed. You know, he pulls an impulsive move and dives into a trapped pit of treasure, and it ends up killing his character. With his character dead, everybody is like, "What the fuck? It'll take you forever to catch back up with the new character." So then he's like, "Hey, let's go out and play this game at the caverns."
Yeah, he says it's a logical extension of the game.
Is it?
Is it?
Is it?
No.
No, it's not. JJ is going to be the maze controller in the new one. Kate
This
resists.
whole thing feels very elaborate and kind of weird.
It is. Kate resists. She's the only fucking reasonable person in this cast.
Yeah, because she's 35.
Also, but she keeps like, she's like, "Hey, we'll get expelled," and I'm like, why?
I guess maybe are we to believe that they're on the campus property?
Maybe.
Like they're
Yeah.
breaking and entering, essentially?
Okay.
I think so because there was some kind of conversation prior to this about just the caves in passing, about how they're dangerous. I think they even talked about how people had like students had gone missing in there, right?
So they call them the Pequod Caves, and I wonder if they're indicating that we're supposed to be in like Connecticut, maybe?
Could be because it's either that or it's like somewhere in the Hudson Valley.
Because that's Pequot adjacent.
Okay.
That's what I'm wondering is like, is that is Pequod is not an actual tribe. Pequot is.
Okay. Yeah.
And it is extends into Connecticut.
Yeah. So, JJ then goes over to the science lab and buys a plastic skeleton for this new evolution in mazes and monsters. And that night, they all sneak out in a bunch of costumes they stole from the theater department.
That's right.
Yep, they drive over and sneak into the new game setting where they're going to steal treasure from an ogre.
And Daniel goes, we'll let Glacia lead. She'll protect us. And my note says, no, she won't, you dumbass. She's never been here before.
They go in. Yeah, well, she's the fighter. She's the party tank.
She's the tank.
She's the tank.
Okay.
Yeah. So they go in and declare it.
Not in that outfit, she's not.
They go in and they declare it terrific.
It's just sensational.
Yeah.
And as a viewer, it was so stimulating. You know, just 5 minutes of them crumbling or crawling through this crumbling cave.
They are.
This
They're stumbling
terrible
through
cave drip noise.
stumbling through the set of Land of the Lost.
Oh my god, this was shot so horribly. It was a nightmare to watch. It's just like, get the fuck on with it. Like, this could have been literally an 80-minute movie.
Oh, I was just saying, I think
for all of this crawling through these mazes that we can't even see.
I don't know who put this out on Blu-ray, but all the like available like physical media versions seem to be sourced from a VHS tape.
They are. They're sourced from the Warner VHS that came out in like 87 or 88.
Yeah. So like all the dark scenes are like really dark.
Yeah, nobody's touched it since then. Because this movie, it's a bit of a stretch to call it a cult film, but
It's
it
culty.
is kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go in and they're terrific. At a certain point, they lose JJ, but they enter a central chamber where he's hiding, and he starts up the game, and they kind of crawl around for a while until a skeleton pops out and scares them.
Now, they seem to be overlooking the fact that Dungeons & Dragons, or Mazes and Monsters, as it were, involves a lot of sitting down and rolling dice.
It does.
Not just tromping around in a cave somewhere.
Yeah, right.
But they're elevating it, you know?
That's true.
This is Mazes and Monsters X.
Right. And it points, now the skeleton points to a message written on the wall, which Daniel is able to translate.
What does it say?
They have to eat the bitter herb or something?
It doesn't really mean anything because it doesn't really amount to anything.
Oh.
No, nothing does. Nothing in this game does.
But then they split up. Fucking rookie move.
Yep. Yeah. We're in this cold, dark, dangerous cave. Hey, why don't we all split up?
Used to work for the Scooby-Doo gang.
That's right. Oh, a pin in that.
So now Robbie is informed that he has encountered a monster and imagines a slimy beast.
Uh-oh.
And then he freaks
Robbie's
out.
having a flashback to Nam.
I know, he took the brown acid at Woodstock. He freaks out, actually seeing the monster approach, and uses his dagger to destroy it. And the dude is really shaken up by this.
Mm-hmm. Takes his gaming very
seriously. Always be in character, never break, you know. When the sesh is over, they leave. It really elevated the game. Robbie is super bummed that he killed the monster. Like, he's like really upset about this. And everybody is like, Jesus Christ, man, chill.
But Kate, she thinks his psychosis is pretty adorable.
Right. When they drop him off, he's still in character. So now that night, Robbie dreams of a long tunnel. The dude at the end tells him that to achieve the highest level of powers, he has to stop all that killing stuff and also stop all that fucking.
You must be pious and celibate.
Yep.
Aw, wah, wah.
Yeah, because he's like a cleric or something in the game, right?
Yeah,
Is
right.
He a cleric?
He's the game's sort of equivalent of a cleric. He calls himself a holy man. And he's like, I only use this as a last resort if I cannot reason my way out of an encounter. And I'm like, man, playing with you must be so fucking boring.
Right?
Yeah.
You know?
The whole point is to go mash.
Yeah, just go.
If you're not raiding, you're not doing it right.
Dorks.
So the next day, Kate drops by as he's studying, tries to put the moves on him, but he informs her that he can't be with her anymore. He tries to explain to her that he has to be celibate, but she thinks that he's breaking up with her.
And he's just like,
is.
It kind of is,
Well,
but
he
also
is.
not. He's sort of
he's like, Kate, you're being hysterical. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, out at a bar, Daniel and Kate have some food. It seems
And this is where she says, this is exactly like last time. And I was like last time? This happened last time?
I know.
Yeah.
At the beginning,
for that.
at the very beginning, they're like, we'll find a fourth player. This time, maybe they won't freak out. And it's like, guys, you're seeing signs now. Like, if this is a recurring problem for you, maybe it's time to take a break.
I thought
maybe
she's referring to her last boyfriend who just sort of like up and left her, but it was like exactly like last time.
Yeah.
She must have joined the convent.
So it seems like it's been a while since they broke up now. She's all broken up about all the dudes walking out on her, including her father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
That's because her mother is such a pill.
She remarks
nag.
I know. Yeah. Father left him for his new wife, Chlorine. She remarks that Robbie has been giving all his stuff away lately. Which, by the way, red flag for suicide.
Yep, that's a big one.
And also, he's going around blessing people.
That's a less obvious one.
Yeah.
Daniel hand waves it all as Robbie is just staying in character. Hey, ain't it great? He really takes Mazes and Monsters seriously.
If your friend is staying in their Dungeons and Dragons character 24/7, that's another red flag.
Yeah. Jared Leto does that, so you know it's a red flag.
Yeah.
At his dorm, Robbie is asleep over some M&M artwork that he made. He dreams of the tunnel again. He has to purify himself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka to level up next.
But you have to do it topless.
Is the water
you have to
warm,
guess
Robbie?
What Lake Minnetonka is.
Driving home, Kate spots Daniel on his bike. She follows him out to the cavern and climbs in after him. Then she gets scared.
I was so confused here because I was like, what the fuck is she doing?
I know. She gets
What is
scared
he
by
doing? What is anybody doing?
I know. Who fucking cares? She gets scared by a rat. Fucking ladies, right? Mm-hmm. And then she gets lost up.
Always be shopping.
Daniel hears her yelling and follows her voice until he finds her. And when they get out of the cave, he tells her that he rode up there to snoop around and see if he could scout out the hidden treasure, because apparently Mazes and Monsters has a win condition that D&D does not. He's so I guess a lot of people like were hearing about Dungeons and Dragons and they were like, okay, but like, how do you win the game? And people were like, well, you I mean, you don't, like, you just
play until it's over.
You just play until it's over. And they're like, yeah, but how do you win? And so like some producer was like, fine, you find the treasure. That's how it is.
Yes. But then he says a line that was confusing as hell. Where he's like, my dad would be so proud. Was he being sarcastic or was he being sincere?
He's being sarcastic and like ironic, because like his dad would actually be very, very, disappointed that he went out and cheated.
Okay. That's what I thought, but the delivery just didn't really.
Well, he'd be doubly disappointed.
I had the same
playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I know. Oh, and then they kiss.
Oh yeah,
that's
because
right.
She says this line. She was like, "I was always afraid to express my feelings for you because you're so attractive."
What?
And then I'm like also being like, "Yo, like you were in a relationship on Bridget Bardot's birthday or shortly thereafter. It's not even Halloween yet, and that relationship has ended, and now you're in a new one."
Mm-hmm. Hey, when God closes a door, he opens a Daniel.
But then she said she'd been out of the relationship for a while. Like, what is a while on her terms?
I know.
Like a couple of days? 5 business days.
Yeah, also
don't 6 weeks at most.
Don't date your fellow players, all right?
Right.
Well, she's only got one left. God hope this one works out, because the next one is a teenager.
Shit gets weird. Oh, this is okay. This is a fucking perfect opportunity. Dave, did I ever tell you about the time that I played with that group in Florida after I moved to school? I must have told you this story because, so the game that I got really big into in the 90s was Vampire the Masquerade. Mm-hmm. And I had a group that I played with, and then I moved away to go to school, and I was really kind of missing it. I really liked it. And so I'm in class in the first week or so, and we're all kind of getting to know each other. And I had a vampire shirt that I wore, and we're on a break, and this girl comes up to me, and she's like, "Hey, do you play that game?" And I was like, "Yeah, I had a group back home and play it." And she's like, "Oh, well, I have this we have a group down here, and if you want, you're welcome to come over. I'm sure the group would be fine with that." And I was like, "Oh, cool." She's like, "Yeah, we really get into it, and we've been playing together for a long time." And I was like, "All right, cool." And so we talk about, I see her at school, and we talk about it a couple of times. And then I put together a character, and then I go over to her apartment, or rather the apartment that I was given, and her boyfriend answers the door, and it is he looks exactly as you sort of expect this person to look like. He looks like the World of Warcraft guy from South Park. Does that make sense?
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Kind of like comic book guy from The Simpsons.
He's the troll.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
wait, not Skank Hunt. What is his name? He's the troll guy from
but he's got the keyboard and the little arm brace and So he is dressed black shirt, he's dressed like Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse. He's got the black shirt and black sweats and the black sneakers.
Samurai swords mounted on the wall.
Yes, as a matter of fact. And basically
it is Florida after all.
He opens the door and the fucking wave hits me, and I smell him. Ooh. And first, and then he brings me in, and she comes up, and it's like a group of these players, and she's like ready to go. She's in costume, and what she is wearing, it's dark, and they've got candles lit and shit. It's all like set for fucking mood and stuff. She comes up to me to say like, "Oh, hey, I'm glad you came." She's wearing like a little black negligee. And
this feels like a real sliding doors moment.
This is okay. So, all right. So things are, I'm already like on my guard. I'm like, what the fuck?
They didn't ask you to put your keys in a bowl, did
they? No, but hang on. And so they bring me into the little kitchen area where the dining room is. And I'm introduced to another player, a guy named Paul, I think his name was. And a guy who had a really strange name that I can't remember, is Kylan or something like that.
Garzax.
And I am seated at the table. I introduce myself. I introduce my character, and we start playing. And the character next to me is, if Vampire has a sort of analog for the fighter class, it's this type of character. And he's really, really aggressive and hot-headed, and he's constantly fucking with me. Plus, he has a prop. They've all got props and costumes and shit. And I don't. I'm just like fucking there to play the game with my book and my dice and my character sheet. He has a fucking knife. And it's a real knife because he has been apparently stabbing the table with it for like years, because the table is just like gouged all around where he's sitting.
What?
So the girls...
I would think you'd have to buy a new table.
The girl's boyfriend is the storyteller, which is the vampire sort of version of the Dungeon Master. And she is sitting across from me, and the other guy with the funny name is also there. And almost immediately, I am introduced to their dynamic. Their characters are in love.
Uh-oh.
And they are physically all over one another. And at a certain point, she gets into his lap and they like start making out. And I am like, okay, I gotta go. This is I'm like, this is really, and I'm like scared. It's like, I'm like Marilyn Burns in the fucking, at the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where like I'm like trapped in this scene with, or
when
like
she's
like
tied to the chair,
or like I'm in the Sentinel, like where like, you know, black and white cake for a black and white cat. I am like, I am trying to figure out like ways to sort of remove myself from
you
the
should just stand up and be like,
where's
so the door
nearest
was
candy
where?
glass window that I can jump out of?
and then the guy next to me with the knife does me a big favor. He starts like doing the aggressive like character to character thing and plays it out. And he fucking takes the knife and he stabs my character sheet and pins it to the table. And I stood up so hard that the chair flew out behind me and like gouged out the fucking wall. And I just grabbed my book and my shit and I fucking walk away. And the table just goes silent. Like, what the fuck is up with this guy?
Like, you're the problem.
Oh, yeah, you're the weirdo.
I'm the weirdo. And I left. And she never spoke to me again. And for a couple of weeks, I went out of my way to avoid her.
Wow. This
you know what?
does
This isn't
sound
doing
fun.
much to fight the perception of the Dungeons
I
and
know.
Dragons panic.
I know. Maybe Patricia Poling was onto something.
Maybe she was. Maybe she orchestrated the whole thing.
I know. Oh, so
That's wild.
People get a little.
I thought you were going to say he stabbed you.
No. But like at a certain point, I was like, she's like making out with this guy in front of her boyfriend, and his boyfriend seems into it. This guy's got a fucking knife. Am I going to get hurt? Like, what is happening here?
Yeah. Yikes.
Oh yeah, and then I didn't fucking play a role playing game until I got home. So
I think the lesson is here: when you're meeting a role playing group for the first time, you need to do it in a public space, just like when you're going on a date, right?
I mean,
you gotta go to the
it kind of
coffee
sounds
shop.
like you were actually. Listen, everybody, you don't have to go through these elaborate productions. If you want to fuck multiple people at the same time, you can just do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to set up a game. You can just do it.
Yeah.
But it's more fun when you're vampires.
Is it?
I don't know.
I mean, apparently it is. Apparently it is. So back to Mazes and Monsters. Daniel, like after he kisses her, he's like, "Hey, that's great. I used to think that I had no feelings. I like Mr. Spock or Patrick Bateman, but look at him now. He's in love."
And
she's
says,
like, "You're nothing like Mr. Spock," which I think was like low key a dig.
Well, because she says you remind me of the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz, and my note says the gay one.
I thought that was the Scarecrow.
Yeah,
Actually, I thought that was the Lion. Maybe they're all
three.
gay.
Yeah. At JJ's Halloween party, we see everybody just having a good time. Remarkably,
and JJ is dressed like Noel Coward, the other gay one.
Yeah, remarkably, JJ isn't wearing a silly hat.
Nope.
Robbie is there in his M&M costume, entirely too in character. Just
at first, I was like, "Is he dressed like Jesus Christ? What kind of costume is that?"
He's like one of the three wise men.
Right.
Yeah, and then just like his brother, he sneaks out when no one is paying attention, but he just goes back to his dorm.
Right.
And it looks like he goes to sleep, or like he's in bed or whatever, and it looks like he is like strapped himself to the bed.
Maybe.
I don't know if maybe he just had strappy sandals on.
Okay, because it looks like he had like you know what I'm talking about. He had like what's the word? I'm like manacles or something.
Yeah, like 5-point leather restraint.
Yes, restraints. That's the word I was looking for.
So now he's awoken by the voice from his dream telling him that he is finally ready to level up. So he gets dressed and leaves the dorm.
And he leaves his wallet and $3.24 behind.
The next day, Daniel goes to check on him, but finds his dorm empty. JJ says that he wasn't in class and that nobody's seen him. Kate leaves to call his mom up. Guess what? She's drunk.
Yeah, there's no way that's a good idea.
She is white girl drunk.
Yeah, she is like, Robbie, never heard of it.
And she's like holding a glass with like, I don't know, it's probably vodka or something or gin or something like that. And it is practically like splashing out.
I don't know her.
Every time she like gestures, it like sloshes around and like spills a little. So yeah, they have to go to his room and check it out, finding an elaborate map that he'd drawn. JJ surmises that he may have gone to the cave to set up his own game where he's the maze controller. So they head up to the cavern to check it out.
And he's also wearing another new hat.
Right. I think I just stopped talking about the hats.
I didn't.
No. So they can't find him and decide that they need help, but they can't ask for help directly because they'll get expelled. So they clear the cave of their stuff and then go to the cops and sort of suggest that he might have gone up there.
And one of the cops says something like, did you notice anything out of the ordinary? And my note says, well, he did think he was a 14th century cleric, but other than that, no.
But I guess
totally
in their case,
normal.
that's kind of normal.
Mm-hmm. He was like, was Robbie a doper? Downers? Drink?
Right.
It's like David Paymer and that fucking This House Possessed.
Right. Oh, God, yeah. They call him Straight Strayhorn. So a detective talks to JJ, brings up mazes and monsters, and JJ tells him that, he used to play, but he doesn't anymore. Liar. The detective says that there's a rumor that some students were playing up at the cavern. How the fuck did they know that?
Well, when he bought the skeleton.
Oh,
he told
okay.
The guy.
That's
He's like,
right. All right.
I'm creating an amazing game of mazes and monsters.
And so the cops develop this theory that another player killed him. That is an insane theory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, he says he's playing with kill him. I mean, Mazes and Monsters is a far out game, isn't it? All those spells and swords and killing. What kind of a person would get involved in all that kind of stuff?
That is literally a line from her book.
Oh.
And a line that she used in interviews, because I read a bunch of interviews with her about the book, and that's a line where she was just like, the first time I ever saw this, it was magic and dragons and people killing, and I thought this was the freakiest thing ever. And I was like, you're fucking lame, lady.
Right? It's like, we need the good old days when kids were playing with toy soldiers, when they were actually playing a simulation they could actually be a part of one day.
Mm-hmm. And pouring milkshakes on black people or whatever.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck she wants.
Yeah. So they all get together to get their story straight and are worried that Robbie is actually dead now. JJ says that they could give his map to the cops to help find Robbie. He was supposed to have hidden it, but, he was just too proud of it.
Yeah, but then they'd be implicated.
Yeah.
So they're like acting like criminals and objectively they didn't do anything.
And he's like, yeah, they might find our fingerprints on it. It's like, kid, I don't think they're going to be dusting for prints on this shit. So we flash back to the beginning of the movie as emergency crews reach the cave. Kate, JJ, and Robbie show up and slip his map into the windshield of the detective looking for Robbie.
And JJ wants to be inconspicuous, so he's dressed like Charles Lindbergh.
Right.
Won't stand out at all.
It's like Charles Lindbergh trying to fucking kidnap a baby.
It didn't go well for him either. Well, I mean, I guess it did if you wanted to get rid of the baby.
So the next day they show up at the police station and he tells them some mysterious person left a map. And then the cop admits that they have just no idea where Robbie is.
Well, at first he's just like, well, the boy's dead or whatever. And then they're like, what? And he's like, actually, we're not sure he's in there at all.
Right.
You know what? We don't even really know what's going on. We were just fucking with you this whole time. What a weird sense of humor.
Back at school, JJ wears a silly hat and sadly draws a map in a notebook.
Sherlock Holmes hat.
That's right. A deer killer, I think it's called. An exact duplicate of Robbie's map. If they can use their game playing maps, they can search the caverns in a game and find him. Kate has an epiphany that the Great Hall written on Robbie's map isn't a place but a person, and she links it to his missing brother who vanished at a Halloween party. So now, cut to New York City.
Oh yeah, because then they're like the two towers, that's Tolkien, and then they're like, New York.
Yeah.
The Twin
Swanky
Towers.
New York jazz. Swanky New York jazz.
Oh, gosh.
Robbie wanders the streets of Times Square. A theater is playing The Slayer there.
Yep, I saw that.
Yep. Back at
He passes another theater that's playing Amityville 2.
awesome.
God.
In a mega throwback to our first episode.
Yep.
Back at school, they search his stuff looking for any sort of clue, but they find nothing. Just references to the two towers, thinking that it's just a Tolkien reference.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, back in the city, Robbie wanders into an alley and ends up cornered by some punks who try to rob him of his magic spells.
A couple of real New York City toughs, and one of them, the little one, looks like he's wearing an ascot.
Yeah.
Like Fred from Scooby-Doo.
He looks like he's getting fucking robbed by fucking Lenny and Squiggy.
It really does.
They chase him and corner him in an alley, and Robbie imagines that the punk is that monster from the cave and tries to ward him off with a magic stone. But the punk just roughs him up. So he draws his dagger, which is really a pocket knife, and stabs the dude as he attacks. Mm-hmm. Now, Robbie runs away and sees himself in a reflection in a window and comes back down to earth for a minute. Then he gets in.
And he's been in New York for what, like 2 days or whatever?
He looks like he's been living.
that.
He looks like he's been living in the subways for like a month.
He's got like dirt on his face. It's like, wait, come on, man.
Yeah.
There's no sense of time passing in this because, again, it's shot so shittily.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
it's bad.
him waltzing through the underground.
Yeah. So
It's
he,
just like, what the fuck?
now he gets into a phone booth and he calls Kate. And he tearfully tells her where he is. And it's a lot like the scene in Anchorman with the glass case of emotion.
Yes. Ooh, this is some hacting.
Yep.
And this is where he says, Kate, I think I killed somebody. I know I killed somebody.
It's not bad.
That's a good Tom Hanks. That's a great Tom Hanks.
You could do a Jimmy Stewart too.
Well, of course. My car.
Clarence, I want to live.
I want to live, Clarence. I want to live.
My favorite Jimmy Stewart is, I just need you to be Madeline for a little while.
So,
Which is a real creepy line.
I know.
so he has blood on his hand and the knife, and he thinks that he killed somebody. And then she tells him to meet her at JJ's place uptown.
And Robbie, he doesn't even write the fucking address down. Robbie, you're crazy. You know you're going to forget this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the whole crew race out to the car to drive up, and Jimmy brings his bird for some reason. In the daytime, Robbie wanders around. He thinks he sees the punks from the night before and runs away down into the subway where an access door takes him deeper into the city. This will probably go well for him.
This is where the movie originally ends here when Robbie accidentally touches the third rail.
It's like the fucking end of Beat Street. Yep.
Anything to make it end.
He thinks he's in a maze. He creeps along the tunnel, falling back into character. The noises of the subway above make him crazy, and he comes upon a homeless dude who's just really fucking confused by his behavior.
Yeah, we get like a hobo jump scare.
Yeah. He asks the guy about the dragon above him, referring to the sounds of the subway. The old guy doesn't know anything about that, but tells Robbie to avoid the tunnels above because he'll just fucking throw him out. He asks about the Great Hall, no clue. Then he asks about the two towers, and oh yeah, homeless guy knows about that. Mm-hmm. So Katie and crew enter the city and drive to JJ's place where Robbie was supposed to meet them. Up in his apartment, he finds that his mom is redecorating again. He enters his room to find the place kitted out like the set from Casablanca.
Oh,
And he loves
but
it.
but real cheap.
Yeah.
Like a real cheap set from Casablanca.
Yeah. And they look over a map of New York, trying to figure out where his character would go. They run over
Yeah,
some...
this is where Kate says, I've marked every location where a holy man would go. And I said, what?
But didn't they kind of already figure out where he was going?
Well, they're like, well, he could have gone to the cloisters. And she's like,
They don't know what the two towers are yet.
Yeah.
They haven't figured that part out yet.
Yeah, because they're like, he could have gone to the cloisters. I could have gone to St. Patrick's Cathedral. And then they're like, oh, the two towers. He means the fucking World Trade Center. Remember?
Honestly, this is where they should have called the police.
I know. Yeah. So now, filthy and getting filthier, Robbie comes upon the two towers as Kate and friends arrive as well. They race in, conveniently getting a parking spot right outside.
Right out front.
In New York.
They decide to check the observation deck, but find nothing.
And this is where it gets real Scooby-Doo because like they're going down the escalator, he's going up.
Oh no!
the
Like they come out one door in the hall, and he runs into another one. And
Yeah.
Then they're on a bike for some reason. And they decide to check the observation deck, but they find nothing. Robbie, meanwhile, just kind of stumbles around the lobby. Eventually, they find him on the
filthy and confused.
They find him on the mezzanine above the lobby and chase him up there, just missing him as he gets in an elevator. And then they hop in their own elevator, and it's a long ride to the top. When they arrive, they're there.
And we sit there with them through the whole fucking thing.
I know. It's like somebody hit every button on the elevator on the way up.
It's like we paid to film at this location, which could not have been cheap, so they were going to milk it for everything they could.
And sure enough, they find him. He doesn't answer to his name, but he does when they call him by his character's name.
Pardue.
Yeah. Robbie intends to fly. He's there on the roof of the World Trade Center.
He's got magic spells.
Yeah, to join the Great Hall. JJ starts to talk him down as the maze controller, and he comes back to his senses. He can't remember anything, and then he sobs, and then
he says, "JJ, what am I doing here?
Why are you wearing that hat, JJ?" And they all hug.
Why'd you bring a bird, JJ?
They all hug. Man, he never should have played that game.
The end.
Well, 3 months later,
it gets so much weirder.
It's all good. No. Kate is working on her novel. It's all about the four of them, the game.
I bet it's going to be so good. An undergraduate student, rich girls writing a novel.
Yep, conquering their fears.
She's like the stand-in for Jaffe, you know?
Yeah, she totally is. Because the book's all about the crazy shit that happened to Robbie. JJ is in the movie director's program, which apparently is a thing. And Daniel has shaken those childish notions of games and is in the computer software program, just as his parents wanted.
All's well that ends
They're
well.
all acting like normal, well-adjusted, and productive members of society now. Robbie is out seeing some doctor because he went crazy. So they all go to Robbie's place to visit, and they find Robbie's mother, and she's not drunk this time.
And she says, "I don't blame any of you for what happened to Robbie." What an awkward, weird thing to say to somebody.
Oh, God,
I think that's just the clue. That's the telltale that she is drunk. She's just functioning.
Yep,
she's probably on her like morning, binge.
Right. She just woke up from her fucking constitutional.
Yeah.
She explains that they had no way of knowing that he'd had problems with the game in the past, being an escape from losing his brother. And then they go out back to find him sitting there, and he greets them as their character names, as his character.
Because once you lose your mind, you just, I guess, stay that way?
Oh, yeah, he's totally gone forever, never coming back.
Yep.
And so they all play along one last time with a voiceover that suggests that they're about to drown him in the lake. Roll credits.
Hey, man, don't enable his delusions. Also, she ends it with being like, "Is this the death of hope?" Jesus Christ.
I know. They are entering the adult world. They have given up all of the sort of childish trappings of their past. They are adults now. This is the death of hope.
Yep.
What a fucking downer.
It sucks for all of them because even Daniel, he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to go into video games. I'm just going to do computer science like my parents want me to."
It's like when Ben gets killed at the end of Night of the Living Dead, where you're like, "Oh, okay, God."
It's like we didn't need that to happen. But they did need it to happen because they needed the people to watch this and be afraid of Dungeons and Dragons.
I know, because they couldn't just find him sitting there at the river's edge and be like, "Oh, hey, Robbie," and him just stand up and kind of like wipe the sweat off his brow, and Ben like, "Boy, that was crazy, wasn't it?"
Yeah. Like, "Hey, sorry guys, kind of went a little nuts there for a while, but things are on the up and up." Instead, he's just like, "Oh, why, it's you."
Oh no, he is fully psychotic forever.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ. Wow.
Mazes and monsters. I told you. You play Dungeons and Dragons, you're playing with fire.
Obviously.
Absolutely.
It's 100% of the time that is what's going to happen.
Boy, this movie fucking sucks. Its message is trash, and the fucking just general movie quality is also bad, even
and
by
it's
made-for-TV movie. It's not, though. It's like 90-something minutes.
It just feels long.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We established it's 101 minutes.
Oh, I definitely struggled to pay attention to this one. Like, I had to get up and, like, walk around. Like, get a drink of water.
Yeah. Like, I watched this in preparation for, like, this recording. I was like, okay, I'll go watch it, and then I'll watch it again.
Ooh.
I watched it, but I did not watch it again.
You got to the end, and you're like, I can't. I just...
Like,
I would have felt bad if you watched this twice.
It's like, I'm giving these guys enough of my time.
Yeah. It was... She hit.
Oh, man.
And that's I don't think it could ever get cult status, because to be cult status, it has to be at least somewhat entertaining. This isn't even so bad it's good. It's just bad.
I
There
think
then
were
it's
moments
kind of
where I
just,
laughed
like,
out loud.
in the context of like how this movie came to be and what it's a part of, it's an interesting piece of the puzzle, but on its own, oh my fucking god.
Oh, it's dog shit. I will never watch this movie again.
I mean, it only really gets attention because it's Tom Hanks.
It's that, and like for a certain, like, you know, for people who like kind of remember that, like people who are sort of into the whole kind of like moral panic thing like we are, or people who just kind of have an interest in Dungeons and Dragons, like it sticks out for that reason. But man, what a dog. It's just such a fucking, it's a bummer.
Yeah.
The message, kind of the underlying message of it really, really
It's
bothers
really
me.
hideous. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's propaganda. It's that PSA kind of bullshit. But like, you know, PSAs do some good, of course.
But it comes across as like begrudging propaganda, because there is that theme that's just like, hey man, sometimes kids just need to blow off some steam, but don't do it because you're gonna go crazy.
Yeah, like I mean, this movie came out at a time when like this country our culture has always been really, really obsessed with conformity. And this is a movie that at its heart is like, I can't believe these kids play this fucking game. Like, what are they? You know, a bunch of fucking losers, right? You know, like that's really kind of what's operating there. It's like, why can't they just be normal?
Yeah, why won't you be like me so I know that I'm more important than whatever it is you're doing?
Yeah, like why can't I be? Oh, it's such a boomer movie. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but like, yeah, the whole thing is just like, why can't they just be normal?
Yeah.
You know? God, yeah, fuck this shit.
Ooh, it's bad. Like it's shocking that anybody had a career after this, quite honestly. But they all did go on to do some stuff.
There is literally a scene where one of the characters is romanticizing suicide, then gets up and goes out to do it.
With a
and he's only
smile on his
stopped
face.
because he is inspired.
And then they do nothing with it.
Nope.
Oh,
They
yeah,
loosely tie up these things by just
It's just a
diverting
flight
our
of
attention to
fancy.
something else.
JJ's character.
It's like Donald Trump.
Yeah, JJ's character is almost handled like a fucking, like a relief valve for the tension. Like he's like comic relief.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, they never really address the fact that he's a child among what are basically adults, and they just sort of treat him like he's not.
Yeah.
It's like, that's kind of what caused all of the problems in the first place.
Yeah, it's like I said, like the movie's script, the story has these sort of glimmers. Like the person who wrote the script kind of saw what the real cause of the Dallas Egbert story was.
Yeah, it's like the guy who, the Baltimore Sun reviewer, who's just like, hey, this movie's fucking garbage and the message is terrible.
Right. And it's almost like, I would imagine that like Rona Jaffe probably had like a producer credit on it so that she kind of got a say in the direction of the story. And she's like, no, you're going in the wrong direction. It's all about Dungeons and Dragons and the fucking.
And they were like, lady, we have 4 days to finish this movie. Shut up.
Yeah.
But they
that's
capitulate, and the movie is ultimately, it's not about how much it fucking sucks to sort of live in the shadow of your parents, but you know it's you know, don't you dare exercise your imagination, you know.
Right? What
You
a
should
terrible thing.
You should be nose to the fucking grindstone when you're at university.
Yeah, and so anybody who's like, how did America become what it became? Because of people like this.
Oh yeah, 100%. But then again, as I illustrated, there are people who do take these games a little too seriously.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, fuck this shit. Tyler, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I love having you here.
All right. Anytime.
Yeah. What do you guys got going on?
Oh, you know, you can just check out our podcast, That's Spooky. We put out episodes on Wednesday, and then on Fridays we do a little bit of roundup of weird news of the week. So that's definitely where you can catch us every week.
Right.
It's myself and my partner, Johnny. Johnny's been on the show before. Y'all know him.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We love it. And yeah, you guys 100% get our seal of approval. Fucking wonderful.
Right.
Yeah. So with this toxic bullshit out of the way, where are we off to next?
Well, as you know, we are closing out the year with some of the weird odds and ends that just keep getting booted around. And next week, on Bring Me the Axe, we're going to be talking about Mortuary, a real deep-cut slasher movie that has a surprisingly surprising ending.
I can't wait because it's a
And
movie
then,
that I don't see people talking about, and I really feel like people should be talking about.
It's so fucking weird.
It
has necrophilia in it, everybody.
It's got Bill Paxton in a lot of weird makeup and a very strange murder weapon.
Mm-hmm. And then in 2 weeks, 99-Cent Rental will be back with Fabrizio D'Angelis's Karate Kid ripoff, Karate Warrior.
Oh, God, this movie is so sleazy.
It's awesome.
It's so sleazy. It's so racist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. But it's also really stupid. So
Yep.
get ready. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see you back here in a week with Mortuary, and we'll be back in 2 with Karate Warrior. So help me God.